Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Sip of Courage podcast. Today, after the last episode, it's a very heavy, very dark episode. We kind of want to get back to business and just have a little fun. We're going to do a Halloween, special. Real quick, let me give a shout out. I know I did last time to the Paranormal Guys podcast, but of course, I didn't say where you could find them. So please check out, especially it's a Halloween theme one. These guys are about all things paranormal, and they're very skeptical about everything, which I really respect and enjoy. Paranormal Guys, you can find them on Spotify, Anchor FM, and you can find them on YouTube under Graveside Paranormal. My name is Doug. Danny, we got our producer in the house. You can call him today the Count.
Ooh.
Count Professor, let's say. And all things Halloween, I say we kick it off. What, you guys good?
Count Dracula for Halloween.
Huh?
Count Dracula
For his nickname?
for Halloween.
For his nickname, or is that what you're going to be?
Count.
Right, I get what you're saying, but you're just saying Count Dracula. And what do you mean?
This is true. I mean,
You're just
that would
saying
be.
it.
I'm just saying it. Count Dracula
I've heard of him.
with
Yeah.
the pause. that's.
All right.
Make sure you pause.
So
All
Count Dracula is a thing.
right. Yes.
Again,
Scary
thanks
guy.
for tuning in. And by the way, we're going to discuss all things Halloween, scary movies, stuff like that. But stay tuned for the end because got a little treat. Going to do a bit of a little deep dive on whether or not Taylor Swift is actually some kind of witch or something.
Whoa.
Is that crazy? Is there anything to that? I don't know. Stay tuned to the end. We'll
I'm kind
find
of
out.
excited to hear about this.
Yeah. So without further ado, shall we
Yeah.
Let's go.
kick it off?
Let's get
Okay.
it.
So since we're starting it off, it's our first ever Halloween special. Why don't we take a look into the actual origin of where this holiday comes from? Mr. Producer, you got some info on that for us?
So yeah.
I'm sorry, Count Producer.
Yes.
Oh,
Count
yeah.
producer,
Sorry about
please.
that.
Be respectful.
So yeah,
I already messed it up.
It's all right.
Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain. Anyways, the Celts who lived
Sam Hain.
the Celts who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. This day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the world of the living and the dead became blurred, and on the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghost of the dead returned to the earth.
Hmm.
Very interesting.
So we were talking about an ancient pagan ritual where they were saying that literally the lines of the dead were blurred and they could roam the earth. And somehow this ancient pagan holiday has lasted the test of time. And this is the stuff I find super interesting because they always talk about how like ridiculous the ancient people were. About how like, oh, they didn't know nothing. They're just like, we're so much much more advanced and we know so much more. Like we think we're the best, but really, how does this Halloween make it all the way through all that ancient time? Just look at the days of the week. They're named after the ancient gods, right? The planets are named after ancient gods. The moon missions named after ancient gods. So all this science and all they tell us about how stupid all that stuff was, yet they give it a shout out. You
That's
know what I'm
interesting.
saying?
I never thought about that. You're right.
Sure. And what's also funny is how all the planets are named after these ancient gods, but what is Earth named after? Dirt. So what do you think?
Wait,
what do you
hold
think
on.
they think of us?
Hold on. Elaborate on that. I'm lost.
The Earth is named after like dirt, the terra. You know what I mean?
Dirt? No, I don't. I'm lost. Do you know about this, Mr. Producer? Am I the only idiot who doesn't know about this?
It's just a language thing, like a terra just means dirt.
Terra means dirt.
Right. And I'm saying like Venus is a god, Neptune, these are all ancient things that they're holding in high regard, but yet the planet that we're all on, planet,
Right.
they call us dirt.
Dirt. Interesting.
It's just something that, what the people in charge, how
Little thought.
they really feel, So
That's interesting.
I always find that interesting how they're so stupid, yet we celebrate all their stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That is very true.
Like,
And
I
teach
mean-
it, right? Everyone talks about it, right?
Sure.
We learn about all the ancient Greeks in, high school and grammar
Ancient
school
Rome,
and all
all
that
that stuff.
ancient Rome. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays.
It's fun.
You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff aside and all we talk about, and of course we're going to get into some stuff, but
Of course.
Even as a kid, man, you want to get that good candy. You want to
Yes.
get out there. You know what I mean?
As much as you can.
You want to be with the cool. I used to want to have that Transformer costume with the mask that was plastic. It'd tear your lips apart on the end. You know what I'm talking about? Remember that old school? You put on a little,
You just brought back
put on that bullshit little rag.
Every time I wore a plastic mask, by
Yeah.
the end of like trick or treating, like my face was just complete sweat.
War
That's
wound.
amazing. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, or you could be that Ninja Turtle for a little throwback episode. There,
Yeah,
you know?
you could. You could be a Ninja Turtle.
Refer to an old episode. You can find out.
I wouldn't
Rod's
recommend the full entire bodysuit.
origins of Ninja Turtle.
Right? Somehow I am internally tied to the Ninja Turtles. It's kind of weird.
I'm jealous.
Well,
You know,
some
pretty
people
cool.
got it. Some people got it like that. But yeah, you used to want that good candy, and you always hated the house that gave you that garbage candy. You know what I mean? You want the Snickers. You want the Reese's. You get these like candy
Reese's is the
corns
best.
or whatever. Yeah. And remember how they always
candy
told you
corn.
about razor blades in the candy?
Oh yeah,
And stuff like that.
yeah.
Never happened. Has that
Wait,
ever
hold
been a
on.
case?
Time out.
Has
Are
it
you
ever happened?
disappointed?
It did come across like that.
Are
Like,
you
man,
sad? Man,
wouldn't it have
no.
been cool if somebody got cut
I never
up?
had the
No,
opportunity
I
to
don't.
digest a razor. This really bothers me.
It's just one of these urban
My childhood sucked.
legends that sadly never
Yes,
happened to
yes.
anybody.
Well, I used to
kid.
always be like, hey, how do you get the razor in the apple? Wasn't that one? Right? They said like there was a razor in
Right in the apple. That's what I was going to say. And
Right,
by
how
the
did they
way,
even get it in there? Wouldn't you know?
I'm not eating an apple on Halloween. Okay, you could take that apple and throw it right in the garbage.
Not even a
so-
caramel one.
All right.
Maybe,
Count,
yeah.
Count Dracula over
maybe.
there. You threw me a
How about
curveball.
candy apples?
That one I would do.
They're gross to me.
That's what you want to
Did
put
you-
your razors in.
The
A
candy apple.
Yeah.
The candy apple might get
So for all you
you. Psychopaths out there trying to hurt
giving
children.
advice,
Jump on it.
just kidding. But you don't like them, huh?
Candy apples,
Mm-hmm.
don't do it for me. Had it for the first time, and I didn't even know what a candy apple was, actually.
It's not a caramel apple. It's like
No,
something else.
So it's different. Okay, cool. So check
There's
this
two.
out.
Yeah.
A candy apple. I didn't know. I was at the state fair in Louisiana.
What?
Yeah, long
I
story.
imagine you got some interesting
You get
stories.
around.
Long story. Long
Yeah,
story.
I'm sure that's a story.
Yeah. So,
Moving right past
yes,
that.
Yeah. So I was there,
Mm.
and they said the person was like, "Hey, let's get a candy apple," and I go, "Oh yeah, I haven't had one of those since I was like a little kid." I was like, because now I'm thinking like a taffy apple,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, "Oh, do you get it with nuts, without nuts?" She's like, "What do you mean?" What do you
Mhm.
mean? And I go, "What do you mean?" Now I'm confused,
Right.
right?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
So I guess what they do is they put like a hard candy around the apple itself.
Oh.
So instead of dipping in like caramel and whatever, they do a hard candy like
Like a-
I'm trying to think of like
Like a
a
Jolly
Jolly
Rancher?
Rancher,
Yeah.
yeah, like a Jolly Rancher almost around it,
Really?
and
This
it's
is the first
hard,
I'm hearing of this as well.
and it's hard, and it's usually red, like really red. It's some type of like sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially it's sugar.
I feel like
right,
I've seen what you said.
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
and that's what it is. It's pretty interesting. I don't like it. I tried it. It wasn't for me.
Okay.
Hurt my toofuses. Didn't like
It
that.
sounds like a nightmare
It just
to eat.
it was like I felt like I was eating glass, and
Yeah,
it just
that's. I
didn't.
immediately thought that I would not enjoy.
But people love it. Hey
consuming
man,
that.
big thing,
I thought it was the candy caramel apple was the either with or without nuts.
No,
That's what I thought you were going to say.
blowing your mind right now.
We just learned something.
Yes, I mean, and listen, here's the best part about it. I could
Yeah.
be totally wrong.
Well, the
I might-
world's
I
not
might
going
have
to
just
end
made
on
that
that
up.
one.
Right.
The legitimacy
No,
of our podcast
Exactly.
shouldn't end on
Should-
that. But
It could.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll tell you this too. I used to. So my daughter has grown into a young woman, and when she was little, I'm talking little, like 2 or 3. She always would go up to the decorations and love them, and like she was never scared.
Oh,
she
okay.
was like,
yeah.
which was very similar to me because I embraced the like horror and all that stuff
Yeah.
at a very young age. But that was like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's walking up to skeletons like, ee.
Right.
So I want to say she was 4 or 5, and I was like, she wanted to be a vampire for Halloween. Okay, we'll go trick or treating. I go, well, okay, you could be a vampire like every other lame out there that you're gonna see, or you can be some kind of wicked, bloody 30 Days of Night vampire.
There we go.
You know what I'm
Now
saying?
talking,
And she
yeah.
doesn't even know what I'm saying, and she's like, I want that, right? So I'm like, got you.
I'm in.
So you remember 30 Days of Night?
30 Days of Night. Was that with the heartthrob
Joshy.
Josh? What
Hartnett.
Josh? Whatever happened to him? He disappeared, huh?
He's around.
Is he?
He's around.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just on the show Black Mirror's new episode or
okay.
season.
I need to look this up because I don't know what
Mr.
you're talking
Squinty
about.
Eye. Mr.
They
Squinty Eye.
say he might play Doctor Doom in the new Fantastic Four Marvel
Doom.
movie.
They're gonna do another Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but this time it'll be under the umbrella of Marvel and those movies I used to love. And now I'm just so sick of it all. But I still have to because it was my childhood come to life.
So yeah.
But anyways,
still gotta enjoy certain stuff.
Of
That was
course.
30 Days of Night was still a pretty good movie.
right.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I thought it was,
was
pretty
pretty
good.
cool.
But there's a scene in there where there was a little kid walking with like her teddy bear just covered in blood. And I think a little robe just walking around. They're like, oh, a little girl or something like that. And she's like, "Wah," you know? So I was like, okay,
Destroy you.
let's get nuts. So I bought like a cheap little pajamas, you know, and covered them in blood. I put like a bloody handprint of like one of her victims on the thing, you know,
I like it.
covered two bloody dots on her neck, blood all down her neck. I was like, let's go trick or treating. And she made at least one kid cry.
That is awesome.
I was like, am I a bad parent?
That's amazing.
She's like, the kids cry. And the best part is she was so freaking just having a blast, just having so much fun running around. She looked scary as hell, but she was having a good old time. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
she made a child cry. But
Good for her.
in that regard, I always found Halloween fun. And then, you know, you get older, you go to these friggin' costume parties as an adult. You ever go?
Oh yeah.
Costume. What's your best one?
He did
Well,
some of that in
went-
Louisiana.
I went to.
We don't talk about
Unfortunately, I have
Louisiana.
not, yeah. But anyway, moving on. So I actually, you're gonna laugh at this one. Went to a party and I knew a guy, okay, friend of the family, who did. He did like his sons actually had a band for a while. I don't know if they changed the name of it. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. I'll plug it. It was called Digital Mindy. I don't know if they changed their name.
Okay, Digital Mindy, shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to John and Nick.
There you go.
I have to let them know that I talk about them. In a
And
good
then
light.
let's find out the
In a
real
good
name.
light.
Yeah,
In a
right,
good
right,
light, yeah,
right, in a good way.
light. But
We'll find out the real name and give them a proper shout out.
yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
should look that up and do it the right way.
Yeah.
But their dad did like real like Hollywood style makeup, like crazy makeup. Like he could do all kinds. So he had fake like noses and all this other stuff, right?
Oh wow.
So he hooked me up for a really cool old man Halloween costume, and I was an old man, and my girlfriend was like the schoolgirl, you know. So we did and I looked like I was
The real
old as shit, yeah.
prosthetics in it.
So we ended up going to this party. I don't know who this party, who was at this party. I forget how we got there. I think I was like, I don't know, 20, something like that.
Okay.
And when I get there, and I still don't even remember where it was at, anything. They're like, dude, my buddy comes with me. He's like, you just missed it. And I'm like, what? He's like, these people were just having sex on the couch in front of everybody.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, they're banging it out in front of everyone. And I'm like,
That's
get
gross.
out of here. I'm like, there's no way. And he's like, I swear to God. He's like, they were just going at it. And I'm like, what? I was like, is this like a joke? I was like,
I know, like,
no way.
were they being serious, or is it like that thing where like you miss one day of school and the next day you get there and all your friends are like, "Oh, you won't
No,
believe it."
legit. Because that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I
You
thought it
missed
was
the
total
craziest
story.
thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a total story. But they were actually doing it. It was fucking wild.
They were doing it.
They were getting after it.
Mm-mm.
Wildness.
No.
Wildness. So
Was it either one of their houses?
that's the part that I don't know. I don't know if that's a great question.
Yeah, it better have
Because
been.
I'm like, man, if somebody banged it out on my couch, I'd be a little
If I walked
frustrated,
in
you know what
the
I'm saying?
middle
Like-
of the party,
guys, can you not
On
do
my
that here?
couch?
Yeah, exactly.
I would have responded negatively to that.
Bizarre. But yeah, that happened
And gross,
and gross.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where it was. I can't.
but also classic.
I mean, unreal. I remembered it. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This really happened?" Yeah,
that's-
just
you're not gonna forget that one.
I mean, Halloween. I don't know what got him fired up, but something did.
Because it was candy apples.
Maybe
You're probably getting nuts on the candy
might
sugar.
have been a little too much sugar.
Jeez,
That'll
man.
get you.
Yeah.
Look out for that sugar, people.
Halloween as a kid was always fun. Like I had aunts and uncles that went like they were those that went overboard on their yard and legitimately wore
Oh,
like
that's the best.
terrifying masks and
I
stuff.
love those houses.
Yeah, so I remember I was probably like a little kid too, like probably like 7 or 8.
Mm.
And they had like a little graveyard and they had like skeletons, like little gravestones and everything.
Oh yeah.
and they gave me this like weird like demonic clown mask.
Ooh,
And they told me to,
Okay.
and they told me to go
Here we go.
and they told me to go like lay down
And a
on,
knife.
No, to go lay down like in front of the tombstone as if I was like a prop and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Scare the crap
and
out
then
of
when
people.
people would come up,
Yeah.
I'd like get up and start like running at him
Terrified
and like I'm a little
children.
kid, so it makes it creepier because it's a little midget thing.
Right, I was
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
say,
yeah.
yeah.
So-
It's Chucky.
I'm,
That's
I remember
great.
like that night I made a lot of people like drop their bags and just like run.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did
That
you
was-
steal their
that is
candy?
great.
I hope
No.
you did.
Well,
That's
it's
unfortunate.
funny enough, I would go trick or treating and I'd get a shit ton of candy, and I would never eat it.
Really?
I'm not a candy person.
Oh.
What?
Wait, hold on. You like?
no.
There's different kinds of. Are you talking like candy? Because to me, candy's like Starburst, Jolly Ranchers, right? I'm not a big
Yeah.
candy guy when it comes
Skittles.
to that. Skittles.
I don't like any of that candy.
You know, Skittles is like outlawed in other countries.
It's at Red 40 or something.
Because of the rainbow thing?
I don't think that's it.
That's a legit,
That's-
honest question.
Yeah, I know it is, and that's the best
only
part.
thing I could think of.
No, so
Taste the
I found
rainbow.
out that Skittles, Mr. Producer, look this up. Find out. So they banned or Skittles is banned in certain countries because there's something in it that's so toxic to your body that
Oh, that makes sense.
they don't
Yeah.
allow it in certain countries.
You're right.
And I don't know exactly which country. So I'm
It's
not.
banned in Sweden and Norway because of titanium dioxide,
There it
which
is.
doesn't sound healthy.
I mean, it sounds scary. It sounds
Yeah,
like
I
something
don't,
Terminator would eat for
I'm
breakfast.
glad I don't
You know?
consume those.
Yeah, no, thank you. But anyway, Skittles. But yeah, so that's like a hard candy.
I'm a chocolate guy.
That's what I was about to say.
Oh, yeah.
Big chocolate
See,
guy.
Huge.
Real big.
Huge.
I'm neither.
Neither.
I'm not someone who's really into sweets, and that's
What
just
about like cake?
I've become
do you do
that.
cake?
I'm that now.
cake.
Do you do cake or like?
Not really.
So do you like any kind of dessert? Do you like ice cream?
The one desserts, then my girlfriend calls me an old man for this, but
Like
That's
butterscotch?
ageism.
so
You like butterscotch?
like desserts like snickerdoodle cookies,
Okay, that's
like
pure sugar.
like apple, like I don't know, like apple cinnamon oatmeal cookies, like
Okay,
Mm.
pure sugar. So you essentially like just scoops of sugar. That's what.
But
that's your
cookie in
preference.
cookie form.
But
In
like,
cookie
but the
form,
thing is,
yeah.
like, only the only cookie I do
Specifically.
is like
cookie form.
the only cookie I will do is like
That's what a snickerdoodle
is
is.
like
Just pure sugar.
snickerdoodle and oatmeal.
Okay.
But outside of that,
Okay.
it's just like apple, like cinnamon, apple crisp,
Mm.
or like just cinnamon.
So you like pie?
I do love pie. I do love
Big
apple
pie
pie.
guy.
I love pumpkin pie.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, I would
So you're
literally
not a total Nazi. You
no,
you
no,
do
no. I would just have the bag, and it would hang in like, and this is how my parents knew I wasn't a candy kid,
Mm-hmm.
so like they didn't like hide the candy somewhere or like only allow me to get it. No, I literally had the candy bag like hanging on my bedroom door,
Wow.
and it would literally just
No siblings?
Oh, no.
yeah, and they would
they would tear it up,
them
right?
either?
Yeah, but my siblings are like 9 and 15 years older than me, so they
Oh,
were
I
like,
didn't know that new information.
they were like
I
past
imagine-
that,
right?
but
like,
it
I'm good.
pretty much like I would eat. I mean, I'm a little beaner kid, so
Okay.
I would eat like the Mexican candies because they had spice to it. I can do spicy or like kind of like tamarind.
So do you like the
Spicy
fireballs and
candy.
stuff like that? Like fireball candy? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
So
You would love that. Yeah.
right, a little fireball.
Oh, I hate those.
They're
but
terrible,
Yeah.
but people
They're
love
awful.
Hot, you know,
but
hot
them.
tamales.
It's hot and sour, so it's kind of like that hot tamales.
I do like
Okay,
hot
yeah,
tamales.
You'd
see?
like a fireball.
Yeah,
candy.
you probably like a fireball.
They have
That'll-
a fireball
that'll be
whiskey
good.
you might like. There's that.
He does
too.
love fireball
I may or may
whiskey.
not have that in my backpack.
Yeah, I was about to say he's ready right now.
There you go. Perfect.
Also,
I-
side note.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
No, go.
real quick side note.
Mm,
I'd say my favorite part of Halloween
let's go.
is horrors. So every
Did you say whores? Like W
horse.
H O
So
R.
Yeah.
every
I thought he said
girl,
horrors.
every girl goes, "Oh, I'm a sexy whatever," right? Immediately.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
If you're a single guy, that's the holiday for
What's
you.
going on? They're running around naked outside. It's
Pretty much. yeah.
and it's like you're not celebrating Halloween. You're not trying to be scary or spooky. You're
Right,
just a
there's
whore.
something else
God
going
bless
on.
you. Yeah, exactly. And you know what, sweetheart? Carry on.
Let
You know
your
what I
inner
mean?
self
Like,
be free.
yes, I love it. Just run around in skimpy little outfits, just all over the place.
It was meant
You
for the
love it.
dads taking their kids out.
Yeah.
Sure. They got
Kill-
their cup of something.
Well, yeah.
The only thing is, to the extent it went, like, it made no sense. Like, sure, you had like slutty nurse and like slutty vampire,
That's what
but
I'm
then when
saying,
you get to
right.
like slutty bee or like something like
This is what
where
I'm
are we
talking
going?
about.
Slutty
right.
everything
It's
now.
slutty everything. Right. Yeah.
There's
And it's
slutty
like-
slut. That's
right.
one.
Slutty slut. Slutty
yeah.
slut.
Yeah.
Really?
How do you
And even
like,
sluttier slut.
like slut squared?
That's
sure.
amazing.
That's a new one.
Good old Halloween. Love the skimpy. Love the skimpy clothes. Carry on, ladies, please.
Don't stop
It's
that
fun-
trend.
it's
That's what
fun
you're
for the
saying.
holidays.
That's what he's about.
It's a good one. It's a good one. What's with the pennies? Do you guys know any
Well, I
origins
don't
of
know
that?
what
You know,
you're
people
talking
give
about.
people give out pennies for Halloween. You guys never heard of
Oh
that?
yeah, that's garbage. Too.
Never heard
But
of
is
that.
that like, are those people who hate Halloween and they want to torture children and they just want to give them a penny? Like to laugh
Probably.
at the kid, just watch him be sad, like watch the
Probably.
I
child
didn't
be
even know
sad?
that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It
'cause,
was
like,
a thing.
to me,
yeah.
the biggest insult to get on Halloween was like, I don't know, like a bag of pretzels or something. And I like pretzels, but
What's
like,
the corn ball
not for
thing?
Halloween.
What's
for
the corn
Halloween.
ball?
I know a popcorn ball.
The popcorn ball.
Yeah, that's garbage too.
What the fuck is that?
Throw that right in the
It's
garbage.
disgusting.
But the
Yeah,
thing is,
nobody wants
where do
that.
you get them?
It's gross.
Like if you
Like
go
local schools or something.
but like, cause like if you go to like stores to buy Halloween candy for kids, you're not gonna find a corn
it's
ball.
nasty.
Like you have to like
Candy corn's gross, too.
specifically look
yeah.
for it.
I had a story on candy corn. The
you
origins
must
of candy
really
corn. I
hate
can't remember.
Halloween if you think kids. You don't. You know kids don't want that. You're
No.
like, here you go, you little jerk.
What's up, you little idiot? Huh?
I just gave you a chore because now you have
Check
to throw
this
this
out.
away.
Quick question though.
Your costume sucks.
If you guys ever gave out candy, how
Mm-hmm.
did you guys feel when like obviously like when you see like a little kid in a cute costume, you're like, okay, this shit's cute or like whatever. But when teenagers come around and they're like 16,
16
17,
years old?
and you're just like,
Get off my porch.
Okay, but that's a fine line because they will egg your house.
Okay, did you guys
You see
ever?
what I'm
I never
saying?
participated in that ever. Did you guys ever participate in
I-
that? Did you
in
guys
the
go
egging
bombing?
of how-
They called it bombing. Well, when I was a kid, they called it bombing.
I will plead the fifth.
Yeah, you definitely. I know you did. That's
Alleged-
right up your alley. 100% right up your alley.
Let's just say
Some
I've grown as a
people-
person.
I never did it.
some people on
I was
this
an angel as a child.
some people on this podcast might have allegedly paintballed a few houses.
Paint?
Oh, see, that's next
Wow.
level.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly,
saying
all of
names.
this is alleged stuff.
Interesting.
I may have allegedly broken a window or something. It's
Right.
all alleged, you know.
Interesting.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
the
no,
egging-
it's
well, I
not
mean,
cool. It's
now-
not cool.
Well, now eggs are so expensive. You got to be rich as fuck. You got
If your house gets egg,
Yeah.
it's
the
almost
rich
a
kids are
compliment.
the rich kids are really. They're like, "What's up, bro?
Really?
You want to go throw some $6 eggs?
Yeah. If my
I
house
got money, baby.
if my
Let's go."
house got egg, they'd be like, wow, they cared enough to spend like $12.
People are outside.
Yeah. Now I will say, there. I don't know about your guys growing up, but in my neighborhood, there was the crazy guy that would threaten everybody, and he was just the crazy guy of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And so, potentially, that was
Oh, his
the-
house got destroyed. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. Yeah.
potentially, allegedly.
Who knows?
But he was a jerk. In any event, it's not a good practice. We don't recommend that
No,
here.
no,
SOC does
See, let's
not
not do that.
endorse that behavior.
Terrible.
On file. But one thing I will say is like kids nowadays need to get up to a little more rambunctious behavior. As
How
opposed,
so?
Because they're just on their damn phones.
They don't even go
get
outside.
outside, move
Right,
around.
they're just
Okay.
on their
They
phones
need to
or
get into
video
a little
game.
bit of trouble.
They need to
Yeah,
go
I get it.
outside.
Everyone gets into a
Yeah.
little bit of trouble.
I like the fun like outfits too. So it's like we do everyone's Dracula, or like you were kind of saying, Wolfman or whatever. I
Next
like
level,
how
like, think-
creative people get
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Halloween. I think it's really cool. Two of my buddies, this is several years back, were the ambiguously gay duo
Oh,
from SNL.
the SNL short.
Oh, it was hysterical. We threw a party and they were doing all of the movements. So like they would straddle on top of each other, do the movements. It was the funniest shit. I
Hey.
thought that was a great idea. Like,
No,
I'm
that's
like,
hilarious.
dude, that's awesome. And it's
Anything
hysterical,
original, anything
Yeah.
original is great. I was
Mr. Producer's looking at me right now. He's like, I have no idea who the ambiguously gay duo is. Yeah, I definitely.
another one of those
Yeah,
things.
SNL. So SNL,
Google
which is
it. You should Google an
Saturday
image
Night
of it.
Live. You should Google it because
Scared
is
of
funny.
what's
you
gonna
watching
come up.
it, listening to you laugh. Is
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
the
Be
best
careful
part,
now.
right? Yeah.
Be careful. But one of my, I would go is one of my favorites.
Gary
is
and
the-
Stu, I believe their names were.
I would be the Crow.
The Crow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Crow, that's a big one.
I did
Everyone
that
loves
one
The Crow.
recently.
So I would, but I would go the full like put the bullet holes in my shirt and I would duct tape,
Oh,
duct
yeah.
tape the stuff and I would try to duplicate it as close as
I did that
possible.
too.
And that's a good. That's like my spirit animal is the crow.
I had the
Love
long
that
hair
movie.
too at the time, so it went with it.
I might have to
See, I had the
revisit
short
that.
hair. It looks stupid, but
I might have to revisit The Crow. A lot of controversy over that one. That's another one.
oh well, yeah.
You know,
There's
Bruce
a
Lee,
pod right
he
there.
died on-
They're
Brandon Lee
making a
got
new
killed.
one. They're remaking it with the guy that played Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, yeah.
And he's
Really,
doing-
he's gonna be the crow.
He's doing it.
Who's Pennywise again? I'm
'Cause
blanking on
From the
Pennywise.
movie It,
Because like a while ago,
Okay, yes.
the new one.
Yes.
a while ago
Yes.
they wanted to redo it, and they had Jason Momoa as the Crow.
Come on.
That's ridiculous.
No.
But now,
that's ridiculous.
But now they have Bill Skarsgård.
that guy.
Jason Momoa. I'm
I'm
over
out
it.
on
Like,
him.
just
I'm
come
out on
already.
him. He's a hunk.
Come on.
Don't get me wrong.
Sure, he's a piece of man
You know,
meat.
he's a piece of man
He's a
meat. I mean, I
beefcake.
won't deny that.
He's
all
total
right?
100% beef. Okay, nobody's
All right,
denying that.
we're just gonna put it out there.
I
It's
just
what it
thought-
is.
I'm over
you know?
him.
But
He's
his
the
acting,
same guy in every movie.
Yes.
He's the wise ass.
It's
you know,
terrible.
he's like
and he's not even good at it.
No,
no, it's really
no.
bad.
Aquaman overrated.
Terrible
All his
film.
movies are
Terrible.
overrated.
They're making a sequel.
The only thing he was good
I
in.
thought they already made the sequel.
Yeah,
No,
they made the
did.
sequel. Yeah, it's
Listen,
terrible. I'm
they
sure it was
made the
just as
sequel,
bad.
and they're already just like, it sucks. Like the studio knows, and they're not even trying anything. They're just like, just here you
I
go,
don't get it.
dude. It's crazy how they. And then
But you
Amber
think,
Heard was like one of the main.
housewives are going.
I just
and they're
heard
kinda
that
like-
they wanted to fire her, but they didn't because Elon Musk threatened to sue them.
I heard that, and I also heard that Jason Momoa showed up. Listen, Jason Momoa showed up on the set drunk, and Amber Heard was scared.
yes.
Hollywood,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
you gotta
If
love
I
it.
saw-
Hollywood, you gotta love it.
The best people in the world.
If
Can
I
you
saw
imagine
like
the balls to show up to work like that? Like, just I don't know. I don't think I could ever do. I don't think I could ever. And I'm a real idiot.
But if you're Jason, if you're Jason Momoa,
Notice
though,
how I didn't say anything.
Exactly. I'm a
Just
real
sat here.
idiot. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I just couldn't do it. Like I just
No,
never
that's
had that kind of confidence.
crazy.
Like, yo, like, what's up?
And he kept saying it's Momoa time, and
It's
nobody knew what the hell
Momoa
that meant.
but like that's what I mean. If you're Jason
Come
Momoa,
on, no way.
No,
if you're
I
made
believed
that up.
you. I believed you.
if you're
Sounded
Jason
good.
Momoa, you just have that
loved it.
confidence though.
Momoa time.
Right, but it's like dial it back a little.
I
bro.
want that to
Play
be
a
real.
different character. The only thing to me he was good in was Game of Thrones, and he didn't talk the whole fucking time. So
He just talks some gibberish every now and
yeah,
then.
he just talks some made up language, and
It was unbelievable.
he was actually really good at it.
It was-
But other than that,
It's amazing.
His best role to date.
his best
it was only
role
good
is
role for me.
gibberish.
Gibberish.
But yeah, look at you see that toy that's on there, Mr. Producer?
toy?
So they
Oh,
were
fuck.
that right there, yeah. They were doing that in like they were doing shit like that, like they were doing.
Okay. Google at home ambiguously gay duo.
They were
It
the
was
ones having
his-
sex on the couch that day.
It wasn't them because I would not
Oh,
watch that at all. That
yeah.
would be terrible. But they were hysterical, man. They were doing all the moves. I was dying. I was like,
that's a
this
good
is
one.
a great.
That's
they
a
crushed it.
Great costume.
They crushed it. It was unbelievable. I was laughing so hard.
That's a lot of commitment to straddle someone for the
It
bit.
was.
You
It was
need
all.
confidence.
They were all in.
You
they
need-
were
you
all
need-
in.
You need Jason Momoa confidence to pull something like that off.
It's Momoa time.
It's Momoa time. Let's make that the title of this episode.
I guess I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
What was the weirdest costume you guys ever did for Halloween?
I was Bob from Bob's Burgers. And
Did
I
anyone
had,
get it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
my wife was Linda, I believe that's her name.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
I had like I had come off shoulder surgery, so I had like a belly, and I just had this mustache like crazy, and I was like, oh, this sucks. Maybe that was the suckiest costume. I don't know, weirdest that I ever did. I don't know.
I don't know. I never really. I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't. I didn't really start enjoying Halloween until I got a little bit older. Just because, like I everyone was out bombing constantly. It's like you would get destroyed in my neighborhood. Like
Well, it was wild in the streets.
if you,
let me
yeah,
tell
you go outside, you're getting fucked up. Like, this is what it was.
Did you grow up on
Wartime.
the world of like the Warriors or
There was
something?
no
There's like
mercy.
30 different
there was
gangs of kids.
no
You know the Warriors.
mercy whatsoever.
I love that. Yeah, no, it was not safe.
No,
After like
no.
8 o'clock,
certain amount of time, they would destroy
get your
you.
ass inside.
Yes.
You're up for.
Some people would freeze the egg.
See, that's
That's-
messed up.
Yeah,
That's messed
it's
up.
wild.
I
So
mean, yeah, hurt somebody. With
yeah, but I never got into. So I don't have a wild one that I did. That one was fun, but my dad somehow one year found like this awesome mask that was creepy. It was like a demon. It was this creepy mask, and like back then, this was like This mask was legit. Like it was a scary
Genuinely
mask. Yeah,
scary.
like it was a
Yeah,
scary
yeah,
mask. And I remember we were just taking souls that Halloween, like opening the door and just scaring the living fuck out of everyone.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Kids were running off the porch. Like my dad's like, we got to stop doing this because someone's gonna fall. It's like,
This is getting out of hand.
Exactly. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. But it was hysterical. That mask was unbelievable. He had that for years. It was a really cool mask. I don't know where he got that from.
There's some good. I had a good demon mask. There was they used to have the Halloween store. I know they have those Halloween stores now,
Spirit Halloween.
but I'm talking about we used to have like a trick shop / Halloween store. Did you ever have that? Where
There's still one
you
out
used to buy like this little kid cigarettes that smoke would come out and you were smoking.
Yeah.
There was one time they had this thing where
Love that promoting smoking. To the
Oh
children.
yeah, of
always
course.
one
It's
the
all
best.
Underage
by design.
smoking.
All by design.
Right.
There was one they had this thing where it was like a bandage with a bloody bandage with a nail
yeah.
through it.
I remember those. Yeah.
Dude, I did this to my grandfather. I busted in the house, dude. And I was like, oh my God.
No
He's
way.
like, what? And I was just like, ha, ha, ha. And it was
Gotcha.
just like, not good for me.
Oh, that's funny. Check this
I
out.
had it coming. But yeah, you don't want to mess around with that guy.
I had a really cool fake cockroach.
A fake
that-
cockroach.
Man, it was good. It was big and it looked real, dude. It was rubbery.
Ugh.
Oh man, I crushed so many people with that one. That was a good one. Or do you know what else I had that was completely evil?
What?
Do you guys? Man, I'm getting like so many flashbacks right now.
Perfect.
Oh, dude, I was an evil little kid. No, I wasn't. I was an angel. But it was gum. So you'd be like, hey, you want a piece of gum?
Oh, the shock gum?
So no, this was like a mouse trap. So like it would snap onto your finger.
This doesn't seem
Jeez.
legal.
So
Christ.
so I'd be like, hey, you want some gum?
Yes,
They'd
I
be
do.
like,
Thank you, friend.
Sure. And then,
Thank you for this nice
yeah,
gesture.
thank you.
just
So kind
did
of
for
me. And then snap.
Son of a bitch. It's Halloween time.
Snap out of your finger. Yeah, I
Should've
don't even
known.
think it was Halloween. I did that shit for fun. Like that was just
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, like the worst we did was, I mean, it wasn't even for Halloween, but it was just like those like shock gum or shock pens. Like someone asked for like a pencil, and you just hear it, and they would like scream in the middle of
It
class.
shocks you. I like that.
Yeah, that's good times, I mean, that's what I mean. Just be a meatball, have fun with your kids, enjoy it, but just watch your kids be
Halloween's the
around
best.
and
Watch out for
enjoy.
the non-existent blades in your kids' candies.
The
Yeah,
cool
watch
houses
out for
too,
those.
right? Which you were kind of describing. You said your family like
Oh,
went
yeah,
all
those
out.
were the best.
Those are the
were
best.
awesome, and they're fun.
So
you
there was
know?
a house in my neighbor like that, but they almost had like a walkthrough where you would like a damn little haunted house, and you could go and it had
Yes,
all this
yeah.
stuff coming around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just great. That's just great.
We had a house that
It's
was
fun.
like it had like a really big like willow tree, so everyone would just come down, and it just added to the ambiance. Like as a little kid, no matter how tough you were a little freaked out going up those
Yeah.
steps
Oh,
to get
yeah.
that candy.
Oh yeah.
A little scared, just a
Because
little bit.
you don't know what was gonna pop out. Like you knew one of those little animatronics was a real person, but you don't know which one it was.
Ever.
Speaking of being scared, unless you guys got more trick or treating costume
No, go ahead,
stories,
go
I
ahead.
feel like we could go.
Yeah, we could roll.
as a little kid, you get scared, right?
For sure.
But at a certain point, you're an adult, and when you're an adult, and maybe let's say you respect the Second Amendment, there's not a lot out there. There's not a lot out there that could scare you. Okay, so I really appreciate certain scary movies that actually creep you out. Because I feel,
yeah.
like I said, ever since I was a little kid, love horror books, scary movies, all the above, But a lot of that stuff out there is garbage. There's not a lot of good horror movies or scary movies, and they rely on these jump scares, and the stories are stupid, and the acting's
But
bad.
I think we've gotten too much gore now.
Right, and then there's
So,
just like
like-
over the top gore.
Right. But the old school way of doing scary movies was like silence.
Are we,
Right.
What are we
Or
talking? Like
or the
50s, 40s?
Blair, what do they call them? Blair
Blair Witch Project.
Oh, like
No,
found
not the
footage?
Blair Witch Project. No, the noise. Like we're like they'll make like a really loud it'll be really quiet, and then there'll be like a loud noise or like a loud
like a jump scare.
yeah, like a jump scare, stuff like that, and like that was cooler than anything else. That was more. But now it's because of all the gore. I feel like the movies just don't have it anymore. They don't have that scariness
I mean, it's like
to it.
it's
you
also.
know?
Yeah.
I feel it's also like a desensitization of like just.
Yes, that's true.
Oh,
That's
it's all
fair.
trauma
Yeah, 'cause,
based
like,
mind
'cause-
control.
Because like Like I remember reading
Fair.
that like when The Exorcist first came out, people
Yeah.
like passed out in theaters and everything. And
Yeah,
like,
people were throwing up and like it was a
Yeah,
whole friggin'
like,
thing.
nowadays most movies have like twice as much horror and weird shit, like gore, and people are just like, this shit sucks.
So for me, it's like
That does make sense. Yeah.
you mentioned the hair jump scares. I'm not a fan because to me, it's like anybody could do that to anybody. You could just be like ha, and then like get somebody. But for me, I like to see something that's just goddamn creepy or something I can't wrap my head around.
Yes.
And just be like, what is that? And there's some movies out there. There's some real gems. So I just watched. So the wife and I are doing. For Halloween, we like to watch a bunch of scary movies. We watched the movie Cobweb. For us, it wasn't that great. It was okay, but the story was like you don't know what's
Is it like
going on.
Like a spider horror movie?
No, it was like this kid and the parents were being creepy, and then in the end when you find out what's going on, you're just like, well, what? Like it didn't make any sense. And it's like I'm okay with that to a certain extent, but the movie has to be good, and it was not that great.
I thought it was like a modern version of like Eight-Legged Freak.
I don't even understand why it was called Cobweb. That's why I kept forgetting the name of this movie because the name does not correlate with the actual movie. There's nothing about spiders at all. But the one movie we did just watch, and this I have to tell you, this movie Talk to Me. You guys have not seen this?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
No.
I'm telling you.
I saw the
this
trailers
movie-
and it looked a little.
I saw the
iffy.
trailer as well, and it looked terrible to me. I was like, dude, they did not market this movie the right way at all. It looks stupid, and I'm telling you, it is dark and just brutal. And,
Interesting.
we talk about the things that we talk about and the evil and all that shit. But the message to me overall was like, don't mess around with things you shouldn't be messing around with.
Yeah.
Because shit can go bad on you.
Yeah.
And so I like the overall message in that regard. So in that way, I was like, okay, I like what they're saying with that. But let me tell you, man, like you talk about a movie where you're watching there's no jump scares. You're just watching evil, like creepy
yeah.
shit. Highly recommend Talk to Me. To me, it's at the level of like Hereditary. And you've seen
Never
that?
saw that one either.
You never saw Hereditary?
Never.
I haven't seen it either.
Holy crap. All right, 2 movies you guys got to
Okay.
watch.
I don't know
Because
if I want to watch them. Sometimes they creep me out. I'm not going to lie to you.
these 2 movies are
Sometimes
hardcore.
it's hard for me to watch. I'm like,
The
I'm
movie-
like legit scared.
The
I know
movie
I sound like
Talk
a pussy,
to
but
Me
it's
is
true.
more of a like out there premise, but there is some to it with messing around with demonic
Spirit stuff scares
spirit
me.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
creeps
what
me
it
out,
is.
man. It does.
But the acting is the you literally in the movie Talk to Me have no idea what's going to happen next, and I love that. And you're like what the whole time. Like, what is going on? What is going to happen? Fantastic acting, great writing, keeps you on the edge of your seat, keeps you guessing. But the movie Hereditary now,
Okay.
this is another brutal one, but this is deeply rooted in satanic cults and how it just ruins this family, and they're just trying to deal with the loss of life and but there's stuff in the background, and then it just keeps ramping up. And the lead star was Toni Collette, who was in Little Miss Sunshine or something like that. She's a famous actress. She should have got nominated for an Oscar. She is
Wow.
awesome in this movie.
It's aggressive.
She should have won the Oscar. Didn't even get nominated. Didn't even get acknowledged at all. They were all acting like really well. So I mean, Hereditary, Talk to Me. These are modern classics.
Okay.
I just watched Talk to Me, and again, since a little kid, I've been watching horror movies. That's one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
Okay.
I knew it
All
when
right.
it was happening. I was like, just end good, and it did.
Wow.
So that
I got one. Insidious. Did you watch Insidious?
I did, yes.
Okay, so I saw the first one.
Sure.
I think they've done a couple of. It's a series of films.
There's
now.
2 or
There's a-
3. I
right?
think a new one's coming out.
New one's
I
coming
think.
out.
Yeah.
That one scared the shit out of me. The
It's
first
not
one.
bad. I'll give you it's not
The
bad.
first one creeped me out.
What's the premise? I haven't seen that one either.
So I think the daughter gets possessed or she gets taken somehow.
It's kind of
right?
like a haunted house thing, and then they're like, okay, we got to move, because in every haunted house movie, just move out of the fucking
Right,
house.
get out of the house, right,
Get out of
yeah,
the house.
leave.
So they're like, okay, let's go. But it
But my
keeps
rate's so low.
continuing.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh no, like what do we do now? It followed us or whatever that
Yeah.
is, and then it gets into like some demonic.
Yeah, and then
Stuff
the
like that.
kid their daughter disappears into this like realm, right? Am I right? Wasn't it something
Yes,
like that?
yeah. There's
And
like
then-
astral projection
Is
stuff
that the
going
one?
on.
Did she go into like the TV or some shit?
No, that's
might
like
be
Exorcist
Poltergeist.
or Poltergeist.
I always
Yeah,
see
that's
some shit where for
Poltergeist.
some reason kids always end up going into a TV.
Yeah, there's something like that.
That's
but
interesting.
yeah,
Mm.
and it's in another realm.
Yeah, yeah.
But so the dad has to like go find her, and they had to bring this lady in, who I think was the same lady from Poltergeist, if I'm not mistaken, or something.
I think
don't
I
know.
might.
Maybe
have
I'm totally
seen-
wrong.
think
I don't
might
know.
have
I
seen
don't
the
think it
movie.
is, but
But it's creepy, and it
not
really
bad.
did. Yeah, it was. That one was creepy for me. That was enough. I was like, I'm good. You know what I like, honestly, and I think it's a great two throwbacks
let's do it.
that I can't get enough of. Freddy Krueger,
Dude, those I've been rewatching some of them with my brother.
hysterical,
Oh my god, his one-liners.
hysterical.
They're the best.
You know what
They're
gets
hysterical.
glossed over about that movie?
Child
That
rapist.
he was a pedophile.
Yeah, that he was a pedophile.
And
Dude.
that's why they burnt his ass up.
Yes, craziness.
Crazy. And then he
Craziness.
became like this anti-hero.
Yes, everyone's
Cracking
like, "We love
one-liners and
Freddy."
just like, you got
Funniest-
the body, I got the brain, or whatever.
Funniest
the hell-
pedophile ever.
Yeah. I will, sure.
'Cause, like, okay. One of my favorite one-liners is
Hysterical, Freddy.
I forgot which one it was, but it was like when the kids are they're like in a mental hospital, and there's
I
like
think
that.
that's the third one.
There's like that girl that was like a former drug addict, and it's a
Okay.
disgusting kill where he like
Right.
injects her with like finger needles.
Oh, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
he kills her, and you're just like, what a rush. Like,
Oh,
so
this
good.
pedophile is just hilarious. the one where I think that's the movie where he was walking that person by their veins or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
Maybe.
Or he's
and
got
then-
the real long arms.
oh yeah, and
That
then,
was
like,
He
hysterical.
had a bunch of tricks.
Like
Oh,
it might have been
man.
the same one, but there was like a
He'll get
girl
ya.
who wanted to be like
Freddy.
she was like really into like TV, and then he like grabs her from the TV, and he's like, "Welcome to prime time, bitch!" And then like, shoves her head in the TV. Like,
Classic.
Classic Krueger.
That and Child's Play. Chucky was one of my favorites.
Have you
Chucky was hysterical.
have you heard about the new TV show?
There's a TV.
There
show.
is a TV show. I've
but
heard about
I've
it, but I
heard
don't
it's horrendous.
It's got to be bad. Of
Garbage.
course it is. Chucky was terrible.
But are
Chucky
they
was
making it bad on
funny.
purpose? Because at
Chucky was
this
another
point,
one that
make
was
it
funny.
stupid on purpose.
That is true, yeah.
I
Sometimes
heard
you do
it's
make it bad on
weirdly,
purpose, yeah.
it's like a little woke. That's what I heard.
How do you even make that Chucky?
Which
woke?
Okay.
Chucky- yeah, I don't even.
But,
know.
like,
So
that's
there's
the
a where
thing
there's
is-
a will,
Is
there's a
Chucky
way.
an environmentalist now? Like is
Chucky
he?
He's
Chucky
aware of
drops
social
some, like,
issues.
Right?
in the old movies.
Don't say that around Chucky.
Yeah,
I'll fucking-
don't say that around Chucky. He's really gonna lose his shit.
I think it's woke because of some like LGBT stuff. Because like obviously in the old movies, he dropped some F slurs in those movies.
Chucky's transgender.
I just,
That could be it. Like the Ken doll with no.
wait, wasn't his
You know
kid
what
a
I'm
little
saying?
weird though?
Maybe.
It could be.
Wasn't his kid a little like zesty and like Seed of Chucky?
Seed of Chucky? That's right.
I
there was
honestly,
Seed of
I've
Chucky.
only
I don't
seen
know.
the first one.
I think his kid was a
I
little
don't
zesty in that
remember.
one.
Once he got a girlfriend, that's when I stopped.
To me,
watching.
the whole
I can't remember.
the whole thing
Bride of
is
Chucky,
just
that's what
that
it was.
Bride of Chucky.
you got a doll that's this big. Handle your business. You know what I mean? Like this, if you can't
Right.
handle this doll,
I feel like I would fuck Chucky up. Like
I have no
don't-
sympathy for
Chucky
the
would
people who
scare
are
me.
victims of Chucky. Oh,
Chucky
it'd be
would
freaky
scare
as
me.
shit, but I would kick him
but
right
I-
just like a
beat
football.
Chucky's ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
dude, I hit him
Chucky
with
was
something.
a-
It's not,
no.
it doesn't.
It's because like
He get booted. Yeah,
He's like
100%.
dangerous with like a knife or something. But it's
I
like,
mean, yeah, he might get a stab in.
he
here
might
and
stab
there.
If you
your
don't
ankle
see
or
him.
something.
But Chucky was slick. But that was it. Yeah, you don't see him.
He
He
gets
was
little
slick.
legs. He's
Yeah.
quiet. It's like- and then if you look, he's literally right underneath you.
Right.
and
Yeah.
You can't
then
see
he's,
it.
then
And
he's
stabbing your
he gets your Achilles.
Right.
ooh,
He gets your Achilles.
He was
you're
surgical
done.
with that bitch.
I'll tell you one I liked was Hellraiser. If we're doing classic,
Hellraiser.
Now
Never got
that
into
one-
Hellraiser either.
You never saw it?
I don't think I've ever seen Hellraiser. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
everything
too.
about
You
it,
know what?
but
The
Never watched
I
it.
don't. It's been so long since I've seen it, but the premise of it is actually quite disturbing.
I don't even know what the premise of it is. I just seen trailers for like the newer adaptations of it, but I haven't seen it.
Dude, the original one. There's basically like this mysterious box, and it's like a puzzle box, and it's like if you can solve the puzzle,
Right.
you will be rewarded with all these great treasures and all this. Except, oh wait, spoiler alert. When you solve the puzzle, you get sent to this other dimension where there's these like BDSM demons that are just going to torture the fuck out of you for the rest of eternity.
Creepy.
So Hollywood.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
hey,
basically, you
interesting.
want to be
Yeah.
a star? You want to be in
You wanna be a
Hollywood?
star?
Enter Hellraiser.
Boom.
And so it's actually really like kind of disturbing to think
sounds like
about.
it.
You know
Sounds
what I
crazy.
mean? The premise of that.
Now I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff. Remember the Leprechaun?
Dude, those were so
The
good.
Leprechaun.
Starring Jennifer Aniston, the first one.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She looks
Shut
so different though
up.
in that one.
Well, it was before the nose job.
She was in the Leprechaun for real?
Yeah, the first one. Look, you barely would recognize
That's
her.
wild.
like a
I had
kid,
no
you know,
clue.
probably a
I had
teenager
no
or
idea.
something. Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
when Leprechaun went to the ghetto? That was one of my favorites.
I don't watch the
was
Ghetto
so good.
Leprechaun, the best, dude. The
Leprechaun in the
best.
Hood.
Leprechaun in the
Okay.
unbelievable.
Be-
Oh, Tales from the Crypt.
I don't know that one.
You wouldn't.
Interesting show. Right.
That sounded kind of derogatory.
You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. But Tales from the Crypt used to be on HBO back
I didn't
in the
have
day.
cable back then.
HBO was home box office. This was a cable channel back in the
No,
day.
it is Max.
You would know it as Max now, yeah.
It just changed like a year ago, Doug.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're
Still,
right about
you know,
that.
you know. But it used to be on TV. And it was this crazy like skeleton.
The Crypt
guy.
Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper. The Crypt
Yeah,
Keeper. The Crypt Keeper. And the Crypt Keeper was funny.
Yeah,
Crypt Keeper had
you know, all
jokes.
these demonic forces, they all had jokes for some reason.
Funny guys.
Had a wicked sense of
Yeah,
humor.
there it is. That's him right there. There's the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw a lady who looked like the Crypt Keeper. And, she scared
In
me.
Louisiana?
You know, no, she
We don't
scared
talk
me.
about
We don't talk
Louisiana.
about that. Yeah, she scared me. But yeah, it was the Tales from the Crypt was pretty good. They had some spooky stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the Crypt Keeper was a funny guy. So the Crypt Keeper was like a host for Tales of the Crypt. So then
Different stories.
he would set like a preface for like what story they were gonna have today, you know, and then they would do the whole thing. I forgot, man. I'm having like flashbacks of all this stuff now. Before
That's so much fun, dude.
It's
great.
crazy.
You got one? You got old school?
Old school stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, not
don't
old
know.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
like-
whatever
Yeah,
you
what
got.
do you what do you like? Is there any scary movie that you like or no?
Okay, so my thing is just like I've been like desensitized, so most horror movies don't really do much to me. But the stuff that creeps me out a lot is like, I guess more like real life type stuff.
Mm.
So like for example, like one of the things I've been like going into lately is like I don't know if you guys heard of like Missing 411.
Oh, yeah, we got to do an episode on
Dude.
it.
Missing 411. I've never heard of this.
Oh, boy.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
we're gonna go into an episode, but there's like a bunch of really weird, like mysterious, like disappearances in like national parks.
Yes.
But like it's like
in real life.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
so it's like to me, but I guess like in terms of like one thing that freaked me out, there was this show called The Watcher, and it's about a real life thing. The show was, but there was this like family, I forgot where, but essentially they move into a house, right?
Mm.
And they start getting weird mail from this guy who calls himself like the Watcher. He's been like a long line of people that have like watched
Netflix
over
show.
the house. Yeah,
I saw it.
But it's based off a real life like thing.
Oh,
that
I did not
happened.
know that. I
Yeah.
actually did like the show.
It's based off a real life thing that happened, and like
No
and like
kidding.
they would get letters of like I saw your daughters today drawing. Like, are they the artist? So they knew a lot
Oh.
about the family, but it's like that weird like notion of like being watched or just
Mhm,
someone around me's doing stuff, and
And
I
you
don't know
what
what's
the hell-
going on.
yeah.
Like
For
that
whatever
to me is
reason,
the creepy
that was
thing.
that was good.
For whatever reason, I feel like
it.
it's like a collection agency. You know,
It's the IRS.
the IRS.
Yeah,
We've been watching you.
we need that money.
Your payments are late.
You fucking loser.
Shit.
But no, I've seen some
We
bad.
gotta get out of this
horror
house
movies lately,
now. They know we're here. We gotta get the fuck out of this house. I'm not paying that bill.
So there's horrible horror movies out
Yeah,
there.
I've seen some like recently. I've seen the new Exorcist movie. Mind you, I haven't.
How was it? Did you like it or
No,
No, it was terrible.
no, it wasn't
Really?
good.
That's
It
unfortunate.
was like 50-50 to me, and then you said it wasn't.
It just didn't do it for
Wasn't
me.
that-
Well, it's
Again,
okay.
some of that stuff creeps me out. Like I
Because,
get a
like,
little like I'm like,
Exorcist 3? I'll recommend
Exorcist
that
3.
'Cause-
There's a
Yeah.
third one.
one. Oh yeah.
The new Exorcist movie called Exorcist like Believer. There's like these two girls that get possessed, and the girls do a phenomenal job,
Okay.
like a legitimate phenomenal job. Like the voice, because you know how sometimes when you do like demonic like possession of kids, sometimes the voice doesn't even sound like the kid is talking. Like it sounds like a
Right.
completely different voice.
Mm.
That doesn't sell it to me. Like it's, but the girls were the ones like with like a little distortion doing like demonic voices, and they sounded great.
Mm.
Mind you, like the script wasn't as good as it could be,
Mm-hmm.
but they did a phenomenal job. But the part that just obviously the scary part of The Exorcist is, you know, there's a demon possessing me.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like a Judeo-Christian demon
Yeah.
is
Right.
possessing me. So there's a concept of heaven, and if I don't win this, hell, my soul is going to be
Right.
sent to hell.
Sure. Yeah.
But they turned it into like spiritual Avengers where like to exorcise a demon, they got a voodoo priestess, they got an evangelical, they got a like some atheist guy, they got like
Inclusion.
Avengers. I love that description. I love that.
so
Spiritual Avengers.
Spiritual Avengers. That's amazing.
so it was just like I couldn't like in the beginning.
they hit everybody,
In the
right,
beginning,
yeah.
it was creepy because the girls did such a good job.
Yeah.
But then at the
It
end,
got old.
At the end, it became a checklist of like inclusion. and I was just
That's stupid.
"God."
You know what?
Wow.
Broken Lizard,
Ha!
who brought you
Super Troopers.
Troopers
Beer Fest.
Beer Fest. Have I talked about this before?
No, but check out Tacoma FD. I love that show. It's
Really?
so dumb. They're firefighters.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
know
whole
it.
group, just
Yeah.
the two of them. It's great. Anyways, go on.
Well, they did one of my favorite movies, which I think is super underrated, and it's called Club Dread. Have you seen Club Dread?
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
I did not like it at first, but it grew on me.
It's hysterical, man.
It's a grower,
Club Dread
not
is
a shower.
funny.
Yeah.
Like for real
Yeah.
funny. And they did, and it's like a horror movie. They're on this island. They do, and what I liked about it is they have running jokes the entire movie,
Mm-hmm.
which to me are hysterical. Like I thought it was really good. But that was one of my favorite like comedy horrors.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a spoof, but it doesn't specifically spoof movies per se, like those scary
Right.
movie ones do.
Right.
Where it's like, okay, I get what you're doing. Like it's
Yes.
just spoofing the genre, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. In fact, most of their movies, to me, rewatch them because they get funnier. Almost
Oh,
all
man.
of their movies are.
It-
I just watched
those
the
guys are
stupidest
underrated.
one, Slammin' Solomon or Slammin' Salmon or whatever that one was.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I
never
hated
watched
that.
it.
Effort.
It looked
Literally
terrible.
the other day, it was on, and it is funny as well. Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace. He's the worst part of the movie. All the rest of it is
I met
very
him before.
funny.
Huge man.
You met him.
I did.
Huh.
True story. Met him
Very
outside the
interesting.
strip club.
Nice guy.
Well, he's true story.
I missed that part. Right on
Very
the
nice
show.
guy.
in
Very nice guy.
Louisiana.
No, here. Super cool dude, and he was a monster.
He seems like
He
a
was
big.
a
A lot of these
monster.
Hollywood people
Super
seem
nice,
like
too.
big guys, and you see them. They're not. They're just little
Super
guys.
nice
It's not-
dude. Yeah.
But so one old school one, and then one that actually creeped me out, like scared me, but then I felt like an idiot. The original Texas Chainsaw. That is rock and roll
Ooh,
like
yes.
you wouldn't believe if you haven't
The
seen
original.
it.
I
It's
don't know
a
if I've
classic,
seen the original. I
dude.
saw the remake in the 90s.
Dude, no. All
Yeah, I
those
didn't see the
movies, not a single one after that. The first one is the best
But isn't
one.
there some truth to that too, though?
Loosely, it's loosely based off of in the movie Psycho. Is loosely based off of the same guy. His name was Ed Gein,
okay.
and his deal was he didn't kill that many people. He technically was a serial killer. I believe he needed to kill 3.
Okay.
Holy Trinity. But his thing was he wanted to make his mom alive again. So he had mommy issues, hence Psycho.
What?
And he would like pretend to be his mom, but then also, so he
Okay,
would
yeah,
like dig
Psycho,
up
yeah.
bodies and like try to figure out ways to bring her back to life. But then he would wear skin,
Holy shit.
and he would. There's an Ed Gein movie that's terrible,
That's creepy.
right? But in one part in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
just out of nowhere, it shows the house from the outside, and he walks out, and he's wearing full skin suit of a woman, and he's just banging on a drum, and he's just like. Yeah, that's the only good
Whoa.
part. That's creepy as hell, and the rest of the movie sucks because.
All right.
But yeah, so Leatherface, because he wore
Leatherface,
the
right?
face
Yeah.
of it, so it's also based on the same guy.
Okay.
But he's one of the least exciting serial killers, I guess you could say. And by the way, we got to
Interesting.
do a serial killer episode. But that movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, did you ever see that?
Yeah.
It's rock and roll, dude. From the moment, like it's stupid, the characters are stupid and annoying, but when Leatherface just pops on the screen, it's rock. That lady screams for like an hour straight.
Really?
It's just,
Sometimes-
the whole time just being chased and tormented.
Sometimes the premise can be really crazy, but like it just hits like Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers.
Those are-
There's another good
Those
one.
are
Yeah, I
great
remember that.
movies. But I guess just to follow your thing on like old school movie, not really that much of a horror movie, but The Lost Boys. I rewatched that recently.
Yeah. That's a
Classic,
goddamn
dude.
classic. That's an
Classic.
American staple.
Dude, classic.
right?
Well, you
The
know,
Lost
there's
Boys,
some
dude.
creepy stuff about that one. We can get into that another
Well,
time,
it
but
started the Corey boys.
There's some weird things in there, but
That's
that
a great
movie,
movie.
the soundtrack, it just
It's so fun.
Wild.
And you know, I could watch that right now. And it's hilarious.
Stands the test of
Everything stands up.
Yeah.
But most of all, I mean, without a doubt, the best part is saxophone guy.
Saxophone guy. I don't know if I remember that.
Yeah, what do you
Guys don't remember saxophone
I don't
guy
remember
when they
that.
go. Could you look up Lost Boys saxophone guy?
When
When they first show up to the town and they're kind of showing all like the missing people posters
Right,
and
yeah.
they're showing different scenes of the town, whatever. There's this concert going on, and there's this totally jacked
Oh,
dude. You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about? With his hair slicked back and he's just rocking that sax, bro. Hey. You want to fucking? You want to tell him playing the
what I'm
saxophone
looking
ain't
at
cool?
right now is unreal.
You go tell him playing the saxophone is
Saxophone
not
guy.
cool.
That guy
And he will
fucks.
whack you at the side of the head with the goddamn saxophone. You're gonna be wearing that saxophone.
Unbelievable.
Saxophone guy
That
does
guy's on
not
some-
play.
that guy's
dude.
on
Gotta respect that man.
Nothing but respect.
Wow.
Hopefully he's not into the dark arts. But
Kind of looks like Shawn Michaels.
He's on some trend with that body though.
Man, guys,
another
yoked.
beefcake.
Yeah,
I mean,
another
we're
beef.
talking
Okay,
98% beef.
biggest
98%.
horror beefcake to me
Yeah.
is the guy from the Misfits, Doyle.
Yeah,
Dude, that guy is
Yeah, yeah.
huge.
What's the Misfits?
a punk rock band from the.
You don't know the
Oh,
Misfits,
no.
Zavala?
Nah, I'm not
He was a
Misfits
rap.
guy.
He was a rap, right?
Yeah,
Rap
no,
guy
yeah,
growing up.
I'm not a
They
fan.
were, and they did like wrestling.
Well, I
and
shouldn't say
shit.
I'm not a fan. I don't know much about it, so I couldn't say. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I don't know anything.
So
about this.
Danzig was in the band, and what's pretty cool
Like, look at
about
this dude,
them?
Zavala.
He's crazy looking.
So they would do horror punk, okay, and
Right.
and while everybody like in the '70s, while everybody was doing this New York being drugged out like punk,
Right.
these guys were rocking punk and like lifting weights and shit, like
Oh, so
doing
they're
their own
like-
thing. I don't think they were straight edge
So
per
these
se.
guys are
I think
yoked.
they were partying, but they were yoked.
They were
and
yoked.
it was
That
like
was
a
part of the
thing
game.
for them.
That was
yeah,
part of the thing.
And
You gotta be
they were not
yoked.
part of the scene, and they were like underground. Like now it's
Interesting.
more
Okay, I
mainstream.
like
you can
it.
find the Misfits everywhere, but
I've heard of the
Back in the
Misfits,
day.
but I thought since we were talking about like movies and stuff, I wasn't sure what. But this is more familiar.
And I will say, so Danzig was the band leader, and he left the band for years. They would argue, they would fight. It was lawsuits, all this shit.
They're on
so,
steroids.
right? Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of clouded thinking,
A lot
but
of roid rage.
it was always never thought that Danzig would join the Misfits again. And I have to say, I was at the concert in Chicago with my daughter to see Danzig with the fucking Misfits again, and it was awesome.
Wow.
And my daughter, this was a few years ago. She was younger, teenager, and she's crazy. She was just like, I want to go up in the screen. It was like, I forget, Riot Fest, so it was some kind of fest, right? And she was like, I want to go to the stage. And I was like, no. And then all you hear when the Misfits are coming out is people yelling, get the women and children out. And I was like, sorry, honey.
We're about to die.
You got to get the fuck out.
Question
That's
though.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Danzig or Michael Graves?
Danzig, but I respect Michael Graves. And who I
Okay.
used to hate, there's that thinking of where you just, it's Danzig and only Danzig. But actually, my daughter got me to listen to a couple Michael Graves songs, and he got some good ones. So
Ooh, I got an
She's
idea.
yelled at me for liking Michael Graves.
Oh,
it makes sense.
serious.
Because Danzig is the real guy.
Jason or Michael Myers, because they're very similar. I just thought about this right now. This just popped into my head. But we're doing a Halloween special.
yeah,
obviously, so
who
we're
do
talking
you
all
like
things Halloween.
better? Who do you?
But yeah, who's the scarier guy? Jason? I mean, Jason's a pretty scary story. Michael Myers is good too, though. Also, Michael Myers' mask, Captain Kirk.
yeah.
Why can't I think of his real
That's-
name?
Wasn't there a movie
Why
where
is
they
it escaping
fought?
me?
William Shatner.
William Shatner. Thank you.
Wasn't there a movie where they fought each other?
No, that was Freddy versus Jason. Unbelievable
Oh.
film.
Oh yeah.
Cracked me up. I laughed so hard. I was like, this is awesome. I remember one Jason movie. I can't remember which one it was, but I laughed so hard. They're like, because all the Jason themes is like you're out in the woods because didn't he drowned in the lake? So like
yeah.
everything was out in the woods with Jason, right?
Right. The camp.
They're
You get
camping,
camp,
everything
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah.
So this guy's in like a sleeping bag, and Jason just walks up and grabs the sleeping bag with the individual in it and just
I
slams
like
it
it
against
already.
a tree. Just boom, slams it against a tree. I laughed so hard. And people are like,
Fantastic.
Daddy, that's terrible. I'm like, no, that's actually hysterical.
Nah, that's the thing. Yeah,
if
those
you
movies
can-
get funny. After a
I
while.
thought about it like beating a blanket. You know how you you hit a blanket
Right. With a person
or
in
your
it.
car mat, against the ground or whatever. But it was,
Right,
it was
right.
a person in it. It was hysterical.
I will go Michael Myers, just because
I don't even know.
he's kind of creepier to me. His backstory is, mysterious. But let me see. Oh, First of all, any David Lynch movie with The Lost Highway, I'm wearing a Lost Highway shirt right now. The Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire, even Twin Peaks. You watch all that. That is like, and he knows esoteric stuff. He's putting a lot of weird, like old Hollywood shit in his movies.
Really?
So, yeah, and his movies, they don't make sense. So, like, you're uncomfortable with them, and you try as you will never figure it out.
I don't know
But
any
he
of those.
shows weird images of like dark shit, man. There's demons. There's all kinds of like weird clown shit. So David Lynch, for me as an adult, is the scariest filmmaker they are. But they're not considered horror movies. But to me, they're ultimately scary. But let me tell you, the first Paranormal Activity, the very first one, I watched it with my girlfriend at the time. Freaked her the hell out, right?
Okay.
I thought it wasn't bad. The acting wasn't great, but it was just a nice, subtle, some creepy stuff going
Right.
on. I was like, okay, that's cool. Just, things are banging and like shit's crazy. She was freaked out. I was like, that's fine. But one of my buddies, he had wanted to watch it because this was back in the day, children, when you would rent movies, and you would go to a store and rent the
VHS,
movie and bring
baby.
it home, and then you only had it for a certain amount of time.
Blockbuster Video.
And so then, so I watched it with my buddy. He wanted to go out and smoke. I was like, okay, I'll go out with you. And I know that the wind did this. I know it was the wind. But we were standing in front of my apartment, and the door just went boom.
It just
and I
scared
was
the
like-
shit out of you.
I look at him. I was like, well, there goes my whole fucking night. And I was just literally just like looking around because I lived in my apartment
Terrified.
alone at the time. And I was just
Terrified.
looking around like, what the? Yeah, dude, that my rational mind knew that this is stupid, but I still was genuinely creeped
That's
out.
how
I
it
was
works.
like,
no. Well, that's the mind fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what drives you crazy. You know,
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
It's the
And that's
fun
what
of
makes
it,
it
but
fun.
it's also
Right.
the
Terrifying part.
the trauma.
Killer
Yeah.
Clowns from Outer Space.
Never
you
watched
remember
it.
that one?
Never
Another
watched it.
amazing
Great.
movie.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah,
You know it?
You've seen
you
that
know
one.
Killer Clowns from Outer
I've
Space?
never seen
Dude.
that one.
this is the thing where
That's
it's like
amazing.
there's a lot of
That's
horror
awesome.
movies I
believe you know
haven't
that.
seen, like more the modern ones, like Insidious or like those. But when it comes to like weird like 80s and 90s like B-rated horror flicks,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've seen some you probably don't even know. Have you heard of the Killer Bong?
The Killer Bong. I mean, I think I might know about it, but I don't. It's not the same thing.
So
You're talking about two different.
Yeah, we might be talking about
should
two
have been a
different
serious.
things
So
here.
there's this like horror movie. There's this horror movie about it's called The Ginger Dead Man.
okay.
Okay,
And
well,
then
that's
It sounds equally as horrible.
racist.
Yeah.
So I just watched a lot of like weird like there was one because my girlfriend and I, we were looking to see some like horror movie to put in the background, like a really stupid one.
Right. yeah,
There was
whatever.
one called like Killer Donuts where they sprinkled some formula onto
Oh,
donuts
wow.
and they were like
This
eating
is
people.
insane.
This is like
All right.
weird 80s horror movie.
I got a
stuff.
good one.
Dude, there was a
Good
ton of
80s
yeah.
movie, The Monster Squad. Do you remember The
Oh
Monster
yeah,
Squad?
Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, classic. Dude.
I don't
that
know that
one.
one.
You should watch that.
You
one.
would like it.
Monster,
That's a
Monster
fun
Squad
one.
was awesome.
Yeah,
man.
that was cool.
Monster Squad was the best. the
Uh,
German guy, remember the German guy? He had the
Dude, barely. Was he the
Oh, it was
Dracula?
fun. He wasn't the Dracula, but he was like the creepy guy who gave them the answer to how to fight Dracula.
Oh, yes.
He was
okay.
There was some weird stuff in German you had to say, and
Yeah,
like you know,
yeah.
it was
weirdly enough.
it
yeah.
was a little
Mm.
odd, but great film, old
Sure.
school.
Monster
I watched
Squad.
Monster Squad 1,000 times.
That's a classic.
It really is.
If I could recommend though, because I did say like my classic movie,
Yeah.
a newer horror movie, which mind you, it's not like horror jump scare like horror. It's more like it's eerie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one called You Won't Be Alone.
You won't be alive.
The
I've heard of that
premise
one.
about it
Yeah.
is about this witch who marks like a child.
Mm.
Like she imprints on a child, and then so the child's gonna grow up and like gonna like become a witch, and it's kind of like a weird like esoteric like Macedonian witchcraft, and like
Oh, here we go.
it's like it looks like it's the visuals are like unsettling, but it's because it's like how the witches work is like they can take your form. So like
Okay.
a witch will kill you, and then she'll open you up and like grab your organs and put them inside her, and then she starts shape shifting into you.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like it's a weird,
I think I dated her.
but it's a good movie, and I
Alright.
recommend
Alright.
Tell me after, because I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
Get
cool
into that.
movies to watch.
Genuinely a really good movie.
I got one. So for me,
Is modern or classic one?
modern, a couple years ago, a few years ago maybe, I genuinely find old people terrifying. and it's not ageism.
Come on.
Your
Come on.
Not
your
ageism.
daughter literally told me the same thing.
Like
again today.
Hold
That
on.
I do?
You're gonna have to elaborate a little bit on
no,
this.
she told me that she also
will.
finds
You don't just
old
get to
people
say that.
terrifying.
She is
You
my
just
daughter.
don't. You don't just get to say that. You don't just
Okay,
say I find.
I'll
What
elaborate.
specific like? Okay, let me ask you this: Is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
is your version of like a haunted house an old folks home? Like if I took you,
No, here's what it is.
what exactly is
A
that?
haunted
what it
nursery home
Right.
is creepier though
It
than a
can
normal
be.
haunted house.
It can
When
be.
you really think about it.
So my thing
Like
is,
imagine a possessed old person compared to like
But again, I think it's the Chucky theory, like a possessed old person. I'm like,
just stop it.
like you got a bad hip.
But
You
okay,
don't scare
let me let me
You know?
let me propose this to you. Okay, let me throw this at you and see if you feel so confident, cockstrong, if you will. You were very brash just now, but let me paint this picture for you.
Cock strong.
You go. It's the middle of the night.
All right,
You wake up. You're feeling parched.
Ooh.
Right.
does happen.
You go. You have a glass of water. You keep the lights out. You don't want to wake yourself up.
yeah.
Middle of the night.
I feel
Bumping
you.
into
You know what I'm
shit.
saying?
You're bumping into shit.
Keep the lights off. You're like, let me just look outside, make sure everything's all right in the neighborhood, right?
Whoa.
You look out the front window. Just gonna go look out the front window, make sure everything's okay. You look out the front window, and then you turn around, and an old ass person is sitting on your couch, just sitting there. That's not gonna freak you the fuck out.
I mean, yeah, they're not supposed to be there.
That's what it is. Old people where they're not supposed to be
So what
is genuinely scary.
All right,
And I wouldn't fight it, or him or her or whatever. I would just run. I would run.
I saw a
probably.
naked
I
dude
would run.
walking down the street, butt ass naked, middle of the night, old as shit. And
This is
I
a
remember
real
seeing
story.
it. This
you're
is a
saying.
real story. This is a real story.
Jesus.
And I was like, what in the fuck
What
is
time
going on?
What time of night?
Oh, I'm talking 12:30, 1 o'clock. in the
Oh
morning.
shit.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is going
That's
on?
not supposed to
Now-
be happening.
Now I understand. Now, I mean, my assumption anyway.
Like
At the
methed out or
time, I was still,
something?
no, I was a young man, so I really didn't understand. Like, he probably had dementia. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he was probably sick.
See,
There's
that's
probably something
creepy,
wrong
though.
with him. You know, like, that's
Well,
my
this
guess.
is my
because-
movie. This is what I'm gonna say.
But he was a big dude.
Like
He was a
fat or
big,
big old
no,
dude?
like a big guy, like, like a
Jesus
really big
Christ.
dude. He, you know, he kind of looked like the guy from very famous actor. He played Frankenstein in the comedy.
Monsters.
No, not the Monsters. Ooh, good call though.
Old school.
No, with man, what was his name? What was the Everybody Loves Raymond, the father from Everybody Loves Raymond? He was a big
Ray
guy.
Romano. You're talking
So it
about
wasn't
his
Ray Romano,
brother?
his father. Ray Romano's father.
Yeah. Young
And
Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. There we go. Young Frankenstein.
Holy cow,
What
that's
a great
old school.
movie. That's a great
Yeah, yeah.
movie,
That's a
right?
good one.
I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
horror movie, but
But
right?
still,
It's kind of
It was
Halloweenish,
good.
right?
It was good.
Yeah.
Fun movie. So my pick for as far as like the old people being genuinely creepy. Did you guys ever watch The Visit?
The Visit.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan.
I might have.
M. Night
this guy.
Shyamalan one.
Whatever happened to him? Is he still around? Is he doing stuff?
I think he's doing a TV show
Okay.
on Apple TV. I forget what it's called, but it actually
Remember the
wasn't
guy with
bad.
the huge arm? What movie was that where the guy had the huge
An
arm?
M. Night?
Yeah.
Huge arm.
There's a movie where the guy had a huge. It was like one of like they were by the pool all the time, and people had these powers.
Oh shit! Yeah, was it something with they had to go in the water? The
Yeah.
lady, it was a girl or something.
Right, but then this guy had a huge arm. But
I forget.
It was
That's-
hysterical because it was like that was his jerking off arm.
That's
you know,
kind
and
of it was clearly
it's like-
clearly a service arm.
it was
Uh,
service arm. I like that.
I've heard of this movie
The
though.
Visit,
I've
dude.
heard of it.
There's kids. They're like, go stay with your grandparents, okay? And they're little, they're older, so go. You know, you got to be cool. And
Oh, and like
these
grandma's
mo-
possessed.
Well, here's. I mean, this movie's been
Ooh,
around for
creepy.
a while now. They're with these people, and they start acting strange, and they're old and creepy. And now here, so you're a grown ass man, right? You weren't
This is
scared of the old
scary.
people. These are kids,
Yeah.
and the mom's
Oh,
like,
that's
"You got to
creepy.
get right." And then she's like, "Those aren't your grandparents." Ooh, let's go.
See,
That
that's
is
creepy.
a genuinely creepy movie to
All
me.
right,
Plus
that's
my
super
fear of old
creepy.
people where they're doing things they shouldn't be doing.
See,
Is it dentures that scare you? Like,
It's just like I don't know.
there's okay, but the thing is, I feel like
Really?
I don't know.
there's like an uncanny valley aspect
love old
of it.
people.
Because like, okay, Zavala, picture this. So we're talking like a 90-something-year-old person, like I don't know, like Mitch McConnell or something. like imagine Mitch McConnell running at you at the
He
speed
scares
of
the
like.
shit out of
Okay,
me.
but imagine
There you go.
he's running at you with the speed of like Usain Bolt, like perfect fitness, like how he shouldn't be running at that
His
age.
skin is just flapping
Yeah.
in the background. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like his little turtleneck is just going
Like,
oh.
Cheek skin.
They can be creepy when they're like doing
Now
things
that
they're not
scares
supposed
me.
to be doing.
Okay, you get
Yeah,
it now.
okay,
You're
all right.
saying you get it.
No, I've always got it. Old people
Oh,
are
okay.
pretty freaky.
Yeah, dude.
They don't
yeah,
scare
dude.
me like that. I don't know. I love old people. I think they're great.
No,
but
I love them.
I
too.
took care
It's
of my
just
90
do what-
they don't
I-
scare me.
I
Don't
took
do
care
what
of
you
my
shouldn't be doing.
92-year-old
They don't scare me.
great grandma.
There you
I
go.
love old people,
Yeah.
but
Some fears are
sometimes-
irrational,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, you see one
Do you
in the
remember
middle
the
of the night.
Do you remember the movie Problem Child?
Yeah, of course.
That's a classic. Not a scary movie.
At
Sorry,
all.
a little off topic. A little off topic, but for
Well, now we could just start naming
yeah,
movies.
start going on.
But
I
like,
love the movie Swingers.
Yeah, great film.
yeah.
great film.
we should do like a whole thing on like the Uncanny Valley because there's this like video.
What is that that you're saying?
The Uncanny Valley. So it's like a premise of horror where it's like it's not something like a demon's face, but it's more like the creepiness comes from it looking almost human. Like it looks almost right,
I've
but there's
heard
something
of
not
this.
quite right about it
Okay.
that bothers you.
I
It's
think
that
you were
like
telling me about this.
uneasiness about it.
Interesting.
Because like
interesting.
there's this like
Also, what makes Mitch McConnell scary?
there's definitely something not right.
There's something
because like
not
there's like
right.
there's like
At
this
all.
video of like this lady and she's doing a news report and this like orangutan is just like smiling at the camera
Yeah.
like he knows something.
Well, I mean, they're pretty intelligent.
I know, but it's like there's like weird uncanniness like he shouldn't be doing
There's some
that.
creepy
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
and that's
I
like
get it.
that's like the premise of like the Uncanny Valley where it's like I don't know like maybe a person whose like lips like the smile is a little too
Yeah.
wide or
Children
like,
of the
you know,
Corn.
like,
Children of the Corn. That's creepy, right?
it's just like a
Yeah.
weird thing and that to me
bizarre.
is probably like to me that is like the horror
The
that will
crazy
will
shit,
get to
yeah.
me where it's like
Mhm.
Uncanny Valley stuff like one of the most terrifying things like you mentioned old person on your couch is those stories of like
So weird.
of like someone living in your house but you don't know it like you notice
yeah,
like
that's
certain
fucked
things
up.
move like a
Yeah.
a
Oh
plate
yeah, like
or like
living
a
in the
box of
wall.
cereal
Shit.
and
Yeah.
stuff and then
Yeah.
they're like in your closet or in
That's
your
creepy.
attic like that's
Yeah.
that's super
fucking
creepy.
terrifying.
And
Yeah.
what's also fascinating though too is like I'm saying the old person thing, you totally don't get it, right? And there's like
I mean,
but
I
there's
get it,
no,
but
but
I
there's
don't know.
what I'm saying, my point is that it's like different people have different shit that
Levels
just
of creepy.
scares them.
Yes,
You
for
know what I
sure.
mean? Like some people aren't scared at all by ghosts or whatever it is, and it's just
Yeah.
interesting how everyone has their own different fears, I guess, or
Well,
unease.
for sure. Yeah, there's stuff.
uneases.
Yeah.
I
Whether
mean, you tell me this, Zavala. What makes your testicular fortitude drop?
Yeah, what are you scared of? This is therapy now.
man, I mean, if we're really gonna put this out there, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like heights. Heights scare me. You want to see me
Same.
scream like a bitch?
Yes.
Man, I'm talking high pitch,
What do you
like
got?
fear,
Like your balls getting
fear,
crushed type scream?
just terrified. You put me up somewhere high, and it doesn't even really have to be that high.
Mm.
I will shut down. I mean, I'm talking
Straight up shriek.
like a bitch. It's over. It's over. Like I have no strength. There's no,
Yeah.
yes, terrified, freezing. Please stop. Begging
I'm not
you,
talking shit.
begging you to stop.
I have the
So I
same
went
fear.
skydiving.
No.
I was
The
skydiving with a
answer
couple
is
guys.
no.
Couple guys, you know the name. the main
I know you
nameless,
did
but
this. Yeah. I know
I'd
you did
love to
this.
go skydiving.
So I went skydiving,
You
and
are
I'm
crazy, but go ahead.
and again, totally scared of heights, right? So I'm like, I gotta do this.
Why'd you do
I'm gonna
it?
because I'm like, I gotta conquer my fear. You know,
That
I
never
gotta-
works.
Okay, but
go
that's
ahead.
like, but that's like insane because it's not like you're like starting from like
It's wild.
It should be a slow
Yeah,
incremental.
like a gradual,
ability.
you don't
Like,
go
nah,
from,
just
like-
jump out of a plane.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
So we jump out of this plane and we're doing it, and I'm like fired up. I'm like this is unbelievable, like the free fall, you know?
you have like the guy strapped to you. And
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. I've got a dude mounted on me. So,
Ambiguously gay duo
ambiguously
style.
gay duo style. Right, yeah.
It always
So-
goes full circle.
So like, I'm like loving it. It's a great time. We're boom. So now, parachute opens, and we're in this like gliding state. right?
Nope. That's equally
And I'm kind of
terrifying.
like, I'm like, whoa, I'm like, this is really cool. And I'm looking down, I'm seeing everything. I'm looking at all like the squares of like, you know, like when you're in a plane, you know, you can see all that. I know that's going to set you off, but so I already know. So
Oh, terrifying.
I'm doing this, and the guy adjusts.
Oh no.
He
Oh,
adjusts
no.
the straps.
Did you start
He goes, "Hey, man."
motherfucking him?
Yes. So he goes, "Hey, man." He goes. I'm gonna make a quick adjustment, and it's just gonna loosen us up a little
No.
bit so that we're not so tight on each other. Because, like, we were tight. It was like cutting off circulation.
The tighter, the
we're tight.
better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I want to be as tight as possible. I've never wanted
I
to be
almost
this
want
close
you
to a
inside
man.
me.
Exactly. I've never wanted a man to be this
Get
close
as close to being
ever.
inside
Yes,
me
please,
without being inside
please,
me. I need
please,
it tight.
please. So
Now is not the time for loosening
No.
straps, dude.
So he does the adjustment, and I just kind of go, whoop, and like
With like a split second
like
of you
a
just
split
dropping.
second of like, whoop, and I go, please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. Please don't kill me again. Please don't do that again. Don't kill me. Please. And he's cracking up.
Oh, my God.
He's like, oh no, it's not funny. It's not funny. And like super high pitch.
Dude, you should have cracked him.
Terrified.
Oh, no.
Please don't do that again. Please don't do that again. So scared.
That's great.
So heights, I don't like heights. Not a fan.
Me
Okay.
either. I'm with you on
But I mean, other than that, there's nothing that really.
that. I have a
I'm
long
tough to scare.
list.
I don't really get scared at all. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't scare me. I mean, you sneak up on me, but even
Anybody could get,
yeah, but I'm hard to sneak
Startled.
up on. Yeah, I'm hard to sneak up on. I'm like, I just don't. It's just not for. So
That's good.
that being said,
Yeah.
I am evil, and I do like to scare other people. So like,
maybe
I'll sneak up on
that's what it
people.
is.
You
I'll
probably
sneak up
fit in,
on
like, a
people
cupboard, too,
and
like,
scare. Yeah, I'm a little guy, so I.
just pop out
Yeah.
like
So I will scare the shit out of people because it entertains me, right? It's fun.
Sure.
I get because my dad used to scare the hell out of us when we were kids. Like he would, man, he would torture us.
That's
Like,
how you learn.
That's how I learned. I learned the moves. He would hide in places. Like he loved it. It was one of his favorite things to do. So like, we loved it. He'd scare the shit out of us. We'd be like, whoa,
Yeah.
I just beat. Right? So we're all fired up. So I would scare the shit out of people, and like that was something I liked to do. So like, there were people who would be like, okay, I'm gonna get him back, and
Revenge.
right, and revenge, and it just never worked. I'd be like, I see you, they're 8 feet, they're 8 feet behind me. Yeah, you're not. No, it's not gonna work today.
Couldn't get
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very hard scared, but people do enjoy it
Sure.
when they have the opportunity. I've been spooked a few times, but I just don't. And I'm not trying to sound like Mr. Hardass. I mean, I just
Nah,
told a
it
story
just
where I
is what it is,
squealed
yeah.
like a bitch and
You're right. Yeah.
while
Right.
skydiving.
You didn't have to tell
I
that
didn't
story.
have to tell
right.
that
Exactly.
story at
So,
all.
no.
But I just don't get
You're
that
lucky,
spooked.
dude. You're lucky.
There's not a lot of stuff that spooks me, or if it does, I'm the kind of guy who I'll just freeze. Like if I see something that scares me, I stop. I'll freeze and
Think
then I'll
about it.
assess the situation. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, should I be scared? Should I not be scared? Is this real? What's happening? And I go from there. I just I don't move.
My uncle scared me as a child, not in any kind of like way that you're talking about. One time we were like eating dinner and he pulled me off to the side and he's like, one time I shot a cop in the mouth.
What?
And I was like, huh? And he's like, just kidding. I was like 7 years old.
JK.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of
Are
me.
you sure that wasn't a confession?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't tell the story unless
Yeah, exactly.
I'm certain that
Fair
was
enough.
not true.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he was just like, ha 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 ha. Jesus
But
Christ.
there's some
Just
people
kidding.
that are like terrifying like that, where it's like sometimes I don't know, like you have a neighbor or something and you're just like, oh, like they're a really nice person, and you find out that they're like a former like murderer, convict, and like that like weird sense that like they can just snap at any
Oh,
moment.
you never know.
Like, it's
You
crazy.
never know. People, speaking of being scared now, unless you guys
Let's hear
got
it.
other movies you want to drop or anything.
I was gonna say one thing, and that's
Yeah.
just like, to me, the thing that terrifies me the most is like people with like I guess like the trope of like people with like dissociative identity, where like they're like, or like schizophrenia or that's like stuff.
That's
like
some
that.
MK Ultra shit right
That
there.
stuff terrifies me. Like I've been around some people with schizophrenia.
Right.
Dude, it's like an eeriness I can't even explain. Like there was this one guy who like, he looked at me, he was talking to me, and apologizing. He thought I was his son that he did like horrible things to.
Right.
He was
Jesus
talking to me,
Christ.
like apologizing for the shit he did, and that shit, dude. Terrifying.
Okay, that's creepy.
Was this-
Yeah,
was
that's
this
fucking
a-
scary?
Was this a date or like what? You're really gonna have to elaborate on that. Did he pay for dinner? Like what happened after? Where'd you meet this guy? Like
Yeah, maybe I don't know
Right,
what was
yeah.
going on there.
It was interesting.
That
seems
is
like there
odd.
might be a little more to
That
that
is
story.
That
you know what I
stuff
mean? Like,
is.
Well, that's why I want to get into kind of like if anybody's got some ghost stories kind of stuff going on, because I
Yeah.
got a couple of instances of something strange that's happened. And to be honest, most of my life, there's nothing. I always was interested in the subject, like, anything like UFOs and all that
right.
stuff, and like ghosts. And then you scare yourself as a kid. We would do Bloody Mary in the mirror, and you're like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Oh,
And then you're
okay,
like,
yeah.
he's here. And everyone would run out
Right.
the bathroom. Right? Nobody saw shit, right? It was just, but there was a couple of things, and both of these things. So when I met my wife, she had an apartment downtown. She lived in an apartment downtown, and I'm not gonna say the building, but it was an old building. It was like from the 20s, at least, like early 20s, and it was all office buildings, and maybe there were apartments. I don't know, but like what was cool is when you go to the different floors, you would see like the original doors. So it would be your apartment, but you would have a door for whatever business that it used to be, whatever office it was. It was on there. It was cool,
Right.
So, but then it was her. It was her apartment, small apartment downtown Chicago. And one day we're sitting there. And by the way, she is not like into any of this stuff. She don't like conspiracies or, she knows stuff now, but she don't like
Right.
to talk about it. But
Not her thing.
not her thing, but she knows, but she has been like, yeah, I've seen, ghosts in there. And I'm like, Jesus, because she's so down to earth. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right,
what
right,
the
yeah.
hell? And then while we were there, we would see, her dog. It was a puppy. It's our dog now. And she would just be looking at the ceiling, kind of just like looking at the ceiling for no reason. A little strange, whatever. But I'm like, I brush
the
it
animals. Yeah, when the
And the
animals
animals
see
see
stuff.
shit,
Right,
right, yeah.
yeah.
off. Well, I got something for that. But anyways, so one day we're sitting there on the couch, and all of a sudden, a drop of water just goes boop right on my arm.
Oh
Right?
boy.
We're just watching the TV. Drop of water, boop right on my arm. I look up. There's no condensation. There's no origin point of this water. Right? There's nothing. Right? And she said it happened to her before as well. Right? And I believe she said that before this happened. And she's like, there was no water anywhere. And I'm like, stop telling me stories about this place. Right?
So
we
can
hang out here
completely
every
rule out
day.
like a leaky
Right.
toilet
You're
upstairs.
freaking me out. Right, that's what I'm saying. I expect to look up and see some kind of
Yeah, condensation.
nothing,
Right.
bone dry, drop of water, boop. And then in her travels, just when she was out, there was in Chicago downtown, there was like a ghost tour, and she told the guy, she's like, "Hey, this is a weird thing with this water or whatever." And that guy tells her, "Oh, that means somebody died in a bathtub in there,
Ah,
like upstairs or something."
okay.
So I was like, "Oh shit!" Right. So there's one. So that's one, little one. This one's a little more intense. So same apartment. We got her a little dog, right? And
Your T-shirt is creepy. I just looked at it right
I
now.
gotta watch this movie, The Lost Highway.
Oh man,
There's some real weird shit going
I just
on.
looked at it. Right. I didn't really see your T-shirt. I just see this weird face.
And this
That's
ain't
creepy.
even his scariest movie.
Ooh.
So, and this
Anyway,
guy
go ahead. I'm
also
sorry.
got,
That
this
got-
is
that
Robert
one got
Blake,
me.
who got accused of murdering his wife. And that's a whole other story we'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
into one day.
Yeah, I remember.
He played
that.
Beretta.
Didn't
But
know that.
anyways,
All right.
same apartment, got her little dog, and she's dog sitting for one of her friends. And she also has a tiny little dog. So the way her apartment was, the living room and kitchen, dining room was all in one little square there, and we would sit and watch the TV. And then there was a long hallway towards the end of the apartment, and that's where the door to leave out was this way. Bathrooms here, and her bedroom was in the middle. So at the end of the hallway was the dog's food and water. And we're sitting at back of the couch, and we could look down this narrow hallway, right? But we're watching TV. It's nighttime, right? The dogs are eating and doing whatever. Well, now they start growling, right? They were eating. Everything's fine. Now they like move back towards us, but they're like growling at the darkness. And I'm like, you got to knock it off now.
That's
right?
creepy,
Stop,
man. Yeah.
Stop with all this. Just stop, right?
That's
Knock
creepy.
it off. It's not. They're growling. They see shit, right? So then I'm like, as I'm looking, and I'm just looking into the darkness, and dude, there was some kind of shift in the air pressure. I don't know what it was. And there was almost this precursor kind of noise of like wood bending. It was like, and I'm not kidding you. It sounded like wood came crashing in because the doorway was surrounded in wood. Like wood came crashing in, like something entered the apartment. The dogs go fucking nuts. I'm like, oh, the cops. And I go running. Right? I yell. I go running into the darkness to just die, I guess, because I don't know what the hell just. And it sounded gnarly and crazy.
Come on.
But it's crazy because the whole time I could see, but it's dark, right? And I get there, doors closed, whip open the door, nothing.
That's scary.
Dead silence.
That's creepy as fuck.
That's the closest thing I have to an actual legitimate ghost story.
I was going to tell a
And
story.
I don't know
Now
what
I'm not because yours is just way better.
No,
so.
dude,
Nah, but the first one was just a drop of
Yeah,
water.
with pets, it can get freaky sometimes. Like this happened to me like a few weeks ago, where like
Uh-oh.
I had to go to the bathroom. I don't know if you guys can relate, but sometimes like when you got to do your thing, it's a whole process. So I'm in the bathroom.
I got you.
Poo-poo.
Yeah,
Caca.
but it's like a whole
We
process.
don't talk about it, but we know what you're
But
talking about.
so
We all do it.
so I'm
Natural,
up
it's okay.
there because like I always use my upstairs bathroom. I don't know why.
Because
That's your palace.
you need a
That's
you're
your palace. That's your
comfortable.
space.
That's
safe,
that's
yeah.
my space.
That's your space. I get it.
So
I don't like to go outside of my house.
yeah,
I used to be like that. Then I got over
Yeah,
it.
no.
but yeah.
Not
So
anymore.
Anywhere
not
now.
ever.
So-
I'll fire it off.
I'm doing my
Doesn't
stuff,
matter.
and my girlfriend is downstairs. So
Okay.
she's downstairs, like she was having like a bowl of cereal. Like I told her I was gonna go up, use the bathroom, so I'm using it, right?
Mhm.
And I have a cat, so I hear my cat first of all I hear like because I have like a wooden staircase with carpet on it, but you can hear when someone's coming upstairs.
Creaks.
So I hear like a few creaks, like someone's coming up.
Uh-oh.
And then I hear my cat kind of like, because my cat's very vocal. So like if it sees you, it'll meow at you.
Okay.
So the cat starts like meowing with like pauses and then meows again because my cat will respond to you if you say stuff. It doesn't know what the
Right.
hell you're saying, obviously, but it'll respond. So I'm just like, oh, like she, she probably came up. She's probably like with the cat and stuff, like talking to it. and
Business
stuff.
as usual.
Yeah, business as usual.
You're
I'm like,
making, you're doing your
I'm
thing.
like, yeah, I'm like, I'm like, like, I'm gonna get out of here, like, and she's gonna be like in the room,
Everything's fine.
playing with
Right.
the cat and stuff.
Yeah.
So I come out and I go to the room, and she's not there, and I'm just like, okay, she probably came upstairs just to like pet the cat and went back downstairs to finish her bowl of cereal or something. And I go downstairs and I ask her, I was like, hey, did you go to play with the cat? And she's just like, no, I haven't moved. And I'm just like, okay. And then she starts telling me she's like, yeah, like I thought you were done earlier because like I heard someone like talking to the cat like in the laundry room.
shit.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
Here we go.
Creepy.
oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
See, like
we
I
gotta
imagine,
leave right now.
I imagine you like doing the pants down walk, like to the door and being like,
Like a little shimmy.
yeah, a little shimmy. Like, what was that? Peek your head out,
Trying
little
to make,
toilet paper, looking around,
trying to make
see
sure nothing escapes.
what the
Yeah.
hell was going on
You
there.
gotta
Yeah.
clench. You gotta
Yeah, did you
clench
pitch it short or no? Or did you finish it off?
Well, he
I
thought
was able to
everything was
finish-
cool.
Yeah,
Right,
I
once you
thought
knew it was
I
good.
thought everything was good, and then I leave, and
Makes
it's just
sense.
like, but
So she
like-
heard somebody talking.
no, she heard.
Did she
someone
say
talking
male
to
or
the
female?
cat.
Or she
That's
didn't?
creepy.
She said it sounded female, but
Ugh.
like,
Oh,
but she
somehow
said it
that's
sounded
even
female,
scarier.
but like she was like whatever, like she thought it was me just doing like a like a baby
Yeah,
voice, like you
exactly, right,
you
yeah.
talk to your animals in like a baby voice. or
Now I'm
something
getting real
sometimes.
creeped out.
Yeah.
But it was
bizarre.
like, yeah,
Shit.
that was one of like the creepiest pet
Wow.
like things.
So
that
my,
have gone on.
I have one with my. I used to live with my first girlfriend, and I was at her parents. We lived at her parents' house,
Mm.
and so I worked afternoons. So I'd be at the house. No one would be there. I'd be sleeping
Mm.
because I'd come home late.
Mm.
So I'd be sleeping, and I could feel. And I this is true story, like for real. I'm not joking around.
Oh, we're
I
all-
could
we
feel.
keep
I
it
could
real around here.
feel her. I could feel someone sit on the bed. So
Oh
like
my
if you're laying down, and someone comes and sits next to you, you can feel the bed kind of shift or move.
Unless you got one of those Tempur-Pedic.
Right? Yeah.
the
Unless you got
number-
then forget about it. You do backflips on that.
Right.
You know.
But but you didn't have that fucking thing.
definitely didn't have that. It was like a homeless man's spring.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
it when somebody's.
So I could feel someone sit down on the bed. So I went, oh, my girl got home early.
No, she
I'm thinking,
didn't.
right? I'm thinking she got home early. She's sitting down. She's gonna hop in the bed with me. She's trying not to wake me up.
Mhm.
Sweet, right?
Nice lady.
Turn over. There ain't nobody there.
Nobody.
Nobody, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's weird, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
anything of it. I move on. Go back to sleep. Whatever. Happens again. And I'm like, what is this? Is really bizarre. Now it's starting to freak me out, right?
Mhm.
Because I mean, I'm talking the bed is moving. Like I can. So the first couple of times it happens, I'm kind of like, maybe I'm crazy, you know, like kind of ignoring it. I know no one's home.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And we had a dog. Dog was chilling, you know, and I'm like, no big deal.
Mm.
So then I tell her one day, I go, man, can I tell you something weird? Because I was kind of embarrassed. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, this isn't real. Like,
You don't want
what,
to seem like,
can't
a,
be-
like a nut job or something.
right?
Right,
And I don't
yeah,
want to
this
seem
is-
crazy, right? So I tell her, and I go, hey, you want to know something really weird? You know, a few times I thought you came home, but you didn't, and I felt the bed move. And she goes, what?
Oh.
And I'm like, what do you mean, what? I'm like, I don't like that reaction. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, what? Like, hold on
Yeah,
a
that's a
second
little
here, right?
too intense.
And she goes, no, tell me. And I'm like, no, you tell me. I'm not
Yeah, what are you
finishing this
hiding?
story until you tell me what's
You're
going
hiding
on. All right?
something
Yeah,
from me.
exactly, right. So I'm like, she's like, no, what happened? I go, well, I'm laying down. I'm asleep. I'm knocked out. And when I fall asleep, I'm gone. You could drop a grenade in the room. I'm out. There ain't no waking me up, right? I'm done. So
Yes.
for me to kind of feel that is a little weird. And she goes, what happened? I go, I felt like someone sat in the bed and I thought it was you, but it wasn't. So, and I explained to her, first time it happened, no big deal, but it's happened a couple of times and it's weird. And she's just like all wide eyed. She goes,
Mm.
when did this happen? And now I'm like, is this a prophecy? Like, what's going on?
What do
here?
you know?
Exactly. Tell me.
Spill it.
So she's like, okay. She goes, my dad.
Oh, fuck.
She goes, my dad says the same thing happens to him upstairs.
Get the actual fuck out of here.
I swear. And I'm like, come on. I'm getting chills talking about it right now. And I'm like, no
You're
way.
genuinely creeping me
I'm like,
out.
no way. And she goes, yeah. She goes, he always laughs and says the house is haunted because he too worked midnights. So he worked midnights. I worked afternoons, but he worked midnights.
All right.
So he slept during the day as well.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we both? This is both daytime in the same house,
Mm-hmm.
and we're both experiencing the same thing. And he knows, just like me, no one's home. He's asleep.
And now she's
And
heard
I'm
the
asleep,
same story
and
from
she's
both.
heard the same story from both of us, dude.
Fuck
And
that,
I
dude.
remember it. I remember it clear as day. It felt you can feel like the almost like a weight shift, you know, in the bed.
Yeah, that's not normal.
That one's mine.
That's
my
not
scary
normal,
story. Yeah.
homeboy.
And that
That's a
was
good one.
That was 100% true. It was wild, but that's what I said. Like, it was crazy shit, man. It made me
Jesus.
wonder. Yeah, I mean, I never felt like in danger, like, you know, like Exorcist type shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was just
Yeah.
creepy. It was weird.
No, there's weird shit.
I didn't scream like a bitch like I did in my
When you were skydiving.
when I was skydiving. Yeah.
But, I mean, some of the scariest shit can happen, like in that weird, like, just sleeping is so vulnerable that sometimes it's just the
Oh
freakiest
yeah.
shit
Well,
when
it's the
stuff that
unknown
happen.
too. You know, like and anything like silence, right? Silence is scary. Darkness is scary. Silence is
Real talk.
scary.
Yeah, sure.
You know, that kind of stuff just spooks you out because what ends up happening is your mind.
Oh yeah.
The brain is a crazy. Your mind is wild.
There's something
man. The
just-
stuff that could just start
There's
going.
There's
you know?
something just inherent about dark, scary, light, good.
Yes.
That's the yin yang duality of it. Like they're just like
Because you don't know.
yeah,
You know what I'm
there's
saying? It's the unknown.
mystery
The
and,
mystery,
and like
yeah.
the potential for some evil lurking in the thing. But it goes away in the daytime.
Yeah. So I have a question
Yeah.
for you guys. Have you guys ever had any like sleep paralysis shit go on?
You were talking about this. I don't even know what that is.
100%.
What is that?
It plagued
Break that
me.
down.
Actually, plagued me for years. It's gone away, and it was the scariest shit ever.
It's a different type of like
So you've had this.
feeling of oh yeah.
All right, so this is interesting because we never really talked about it, right? So I can go first, and then you can tell me what you had. So it started for me when this is really strange. If I would sleep facing, so my bed, this was when I was at my apartment, if I slept facing my doorway, I don't know how, I don't know what started or whatever, but I would wake up and I would think I was awake and I couldn't move. I'm in my bedroom. It's not like I'm having a dream. I'm literally just in my bed and now I'm awake and at the bed, everything's the same. And I'm just looking at the door and I cannot move. But it's not just that I cannot move. There's this feeling that something is approaching me. There's just like this impending doom that is like coming my way. Something evil is coming and I can't move. And so I'm saying for years and years this happened. But if I would fall asleep facing the wall the other way, it wouldn't happen. And then I would be trapped in it to where I would be like, I can't move. And I almost figured out like this is what I have to do, like a push-up, like almost a physical push-up to but it was like mental as well. It was very strange. And so I would like do this like mental / physical push-up, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm awake, but I wouldn't be awake. I'd still be trapped. 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then I would wake up, and just be like, Jesus, why do I go to sleep facing the door? Just look at the wall, and then it would go away. But
it's completely avoidable.
I had that for like a bunch of years.
That's got to be something that's going on.
But it happened not only
like
just
psychological.
It didn't only happen in my apartment. It would happen where if I was sleeping at other places, if I was traveling or whatever the fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never had it while traveling.
I've had it multiple times.
I feel
while
like that's
traveling.
psychological.
Like how you said
Gotta
it,
be
where like
something.
it's when like you're facing the door. I typically had it when I would facing straight up. That's when I would typically have it.
See, I sleep on my side.
But okay, the creepiest time was because I got like it became a thing where I'm just like, okay, sometimes I get it when I'm facing straight up. Let me not sleep like that anymore.
Right.
But the creepiest time was it happened one time when I slept on my
sleeping
side,
straight up. What do you mean sleeping?
like just like
straight up?
facing like
like
on
a
your back.
vampire?
yeah,
Like in
like
a coffin.
yeah, like sleeping on your back.
It was like Count Professor. He sleeps like this.
Man, I have to
Dude,
stop sleeping
okay.
like this. It's really getting bad.
Side note, real talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I don't know if it's just like a thing from being a kid. I like feeling really like from being tucked in. I like feeling tight. So sometimes
There
I
you go.
do sleep like that just because I like it makes me feel nice and like tight and stuff. So sometimes I do. But
Okay.
besides,
All right.
We're honest.
No
here.
judges.
We're honest here. At
No
Sipper
judges.
Courage.
yeah. So the creepiest time was I slept on my side and I slept in a room downstairs. Just because like my typical bedroom upstairs, like dude, it's like it contains heat like you wouldn't believe. Like
Yeah.
it's just the hottest room in the damn house.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like winter, and my parents have the heater on. So my room is like it's like a hot stone. Like it just contains it. So I'm like, okay, this winter, like I'm gonna move to the guest bedroom downstairs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sleeping on my side, and like I like sleeping with noise.
Noise.
Yeah, like I like sleeping with noise. So
What kind of noise?
it's just anything, a fan,
Ambient,
sometimes-
background
yeah,
shit.
so
Okay, a fan.
sometimes I
Okay,
just have like a
alright.
music video, like a not a music video,
Right.
like
Background
a,
shit.
yeah, like a YouTube video of something
Got
dumb
it.
that I can just not
Yeah.
pay attention to.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll do that. And so I'm watching this video. I forgot what the video was about, but I start dozing off, and then I'm getting this sleep paralysis. So I like wake up and I'm not on the side of like if you divide a bed into two, you have the right side and the left side, right? So I'm sleeping on the right side of the bed. But in my sleep paralysis, I'm like on the left side of the bed.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just like I'm looking and I'm like trapped in like my sleep paralysis because like in fight or flight I'm like 100% fight, so I'm like
Let's go.
trying to move, I'm like trying to scream, but like the
Right.
like
It's not working.
like the sound is just getting
Dude, the
stuck in my
paralysis
throat.
is
Worst
insane.
nightmares ever.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Like I can't do anything.
You can't freaking do
And-
anything.
Like I'm looking at the door because it's a pretty small room, and like in a weird way, like I don't see anything, but I just feel something
Bro.
looking at me. Like I feel like I'm just being stared at.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then
I felt that before.
And
That's
then-
weird.
and then I'm able to like get out of it, and then I'm like, okay, I've had sleep paralysis enough at this point where I'm just like, okay, fuck it, whatever. Like I'm gonna go back to bed. I'm gonna wake up,
Just deal with it,
Whatever.
right? Yeah.
and then it happens again.
Yeah.
And then this time, like I almost like feel like the thing is moving around the room. So it was like in the corner, and now I feel it like a little closer to me.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And then
I felt pressure before. Like,
well, yeah,
where it feels like someone's sitting on my
On your
chest while I'm
chest?
sleeping. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
And then
I felt that before.
I'm just like, you know what? Again, like, you know, fuck it. Like, I'm a Catholic. It can't do shit to me. You know, like, whatever.
there you go.
Wake
I
up.
got that God's armor.
Yeah.
What is it? The what do they say with the power of Christ compels you?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like,
Whatever works.
Right, yeah.
I was just like whatever. It can't do anything. So I go back to sleep. Happens a third time. And then like at this point, it's happened 3 times. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I just not gonna get any fucking sleep? Like, 'cause this is some bullshit.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you know what the hell's going on? And it feels like it's
Get
like,
outta here,
it
Satan.
It feels like it's almost like right next to me. Like it's just on the bed, but I can't turn my damn head. So it's
Bizarre.
like just like
Paralyzed.
Yeah, I'm paralyzed. I can't turn.
Mm.
And then like eventually I get out of it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I'm gonna stay up for a bit. Hopefully it checks. So I click on my phone. That experience of sleep paralysis 3 times that felt like an eternity.
Mhm.
Only like 5 minutes had gone past, like on the video I was watching.
That's insane.
Only 5 minutes had gone past. And the creepy thing is that in that room was a guest bedroom, and my mom had like a bunch of like dolls that my sisters got
Oh,
as gifts
no.
from Mexico.
Why?
I don't know. They're not there anymore, thankfully. But
Thank
there was like
God.
a bunch of weird Mexican like handmade dolls.
They're just like arbiters
Yeah,
of demons.
And like the creepiest thing about
Hello.
it is that like I look at them because I mean dolls are fucking creepy regardless.
Yeah.
So I'm just
It's
like,
like
I'm
clowns.
just like, okay, the last thing I fucking want is for me to look at these dolls and one of them's fucking looking at me or some shit.
Oh man.
So I'm just like, you know
So
what,
you're
whatever.
torturing
I
yourself at this
intrusively
point.
I intrusively look, and the doll that would be right above me where I was sleeping,
Don't even say it.
its head was turned, but it wasn't at me. It was turned where I felt the presence of the thing looking
Oh
at me.
my
Oh,
God.
Nice.
And that shit, like, after that, like, fucking, I was like, okay, whatever. I told my fucking mom about it the next fucking day. She took all the fucking dolls out of the room.
Yeah.
And
Good.
it didn't happen to me again after that.
Good.
That shit was fucking terrifying.
That's
And, like, I have a
good.
picture
Super
because I took
bizarre.
a fucking picture of the fucking, like, doll, like, looking in that fucking direction.
super
Oh, Jesus.
bizarre.
Like, I don't know if you guys can fucking, like, see it because I can't put it on screen, but it was literally, like, facing.
Oh no.
Why would you do that to yourself? What?
It was literally facing,
I
like,
don't
where I
understand.
felt the
Come on,
Looks
presence.
like a blood
You're
witch.
doing that to yourself.
Well, she did that. To
Who's
I mean, the
sleeping in
family did
house
that.
like
To
that? Like, throw that away,
You never had
man.
a family that had creepy ass dolls in the
No.
room? I did.
You're Hispanic. Come on.
Yeah,
Swear to
they-
God,
I
Hispanics
never.
have weird handmade dolls.
No,
Yeah, they
we
got the
never did the
weird
weird
ass
dolls.
dolls.
Yeah, I never got it. It was me.
Well, not in my house, but I've been in
Yeah.
families' houses.
It's a
I know
normal
what you're talking
Hispanic
about.
thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm just like I'm not putting myself through that kind of torture. That
Nah,
thing just
hell
creeped me
yeah.
out right now. I just looked at, I saw a picture. It creeped me out.
scary as
Yeah.
shit.
Of course you were fucked up, man. That's some scary shit.
It looked
that's
like a
terrible.
blood witch.
Well, like,
Oof.
it's like the part that was like the freakiest part about it is just the time thing. Like the fact that to me it felt like I was stuck like this for minutes, and it happened 3
Right, it only
times,
happened-
and
yeah.
only
Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's
had, like,
creepy.
passed.
So I've heard.
Speaking of blood witches,
Yeah. Oh wait, not yet. Let me
Not yet?
close.
Okay,
Let me
all
close.
right, all right.
Let me close, and then we'll get to the end.
absolutely.
So I've heard that this sleep paralysis thing is direct demonic attack,
Oh yeah.
and I don't like to
heard
think
that
about
too.
that because I had to fucking go through it, and I don't. And thank God I don't go through it anymore. But there's that, and the other thing I forgot to mention that was part of this was I would always be facing the door. It's weird you were looking at the door, but there was more than one occasion where I would hear like a chorus of voices.
Oh,
but-
dude,
They were all like humming low, like
I've had that too.
Now if you're like, it's just me, right? But imagine a whole chorus and it's like but it was building, dude, like that, and something's coming through this goddamn door, and here I am just like, look a move.
No, I haven't had the chorus, but I've
Scary
had like
as shit,
I've
dude.
had like
That's scary.
I've had like maybe like, and like it's like creepier to me, but it's like to me it's like instead of a chorus, it's like you're just like stuck in it and you just hear like go like,
Oh my God.
but then it's but then there's like a pause
No.
and then just a, like a few seconds later just like
Yeah.
like
No.
whispering, but it's like just like pauses to it and it's like creepy. So, but mind you, I'm a retard. I I put myself in dumb situations.
I mean, I would never sleep.
Wait,
with
but
a
no,
doll.
like
Yeah, I would
Ever.
see that doll and
this
just
is the
leave
thing
it.
where
Get
it's
this
like-
thing out of here right
I
now.
get what you're saying. Though.
like
Yeah.
like
I'm understanding. I'm starting to understand.
no, but like going into back like plugging again like the pair of normal guys and what like and what they do and stuff.
yeah,
Like when that happened, I was like, because my mom, okay, growing up, I've been almost desensitized to supernatural stuff because growing up, my mom used to watch like every ghost show, every like ancient aliens type stuff. She was always into that stuff, and like I don't know, like I always like I didn't buy it because like you know like Ghost Adventures, like maybe like growing up, Ghost Adventures was like freaky, but then when you watch it, you're just like.
Yeah.
There's these dudes that are pretending to
to
be
me, they make
possessed.
those shows fake.
Yeah, they're like
to hide
pretend.
the
Right.
real
So yeah,
shit.
so I saw that growing up, and I was like,
Ghost
okay.
Rider.
I was like,
Mhm.
I was like I can't believe this shit, you know, whatever.
Right.
So then like, but one of the things that I did was I used to like going to like, I don't know, I was like a little troublemaker. I like going to abandoned places with friends and like you know just doing stuff
Sure.
like So we go to this abandoned cemetery called Bachelor's Grove,
Ruh-roh.
and
You're asking for trouble once again.
but okay, but I didn't
Going to
believe-
weird places.
when I
doing
first
weird
went there,
shit,
I
and then you
didn't
can't
believe in
figure it out. You know, you're like, I
I
can't
didn't-
believe this happened to me. I was running around a graveyard. So I'm running around a graveyard.
With this blood witch
With-
doll.
Exactly. Yeah.
The
Scared
creepiest
the shit out of
the
me.
creepiest part about that graveyard is that like you go there and these graves are old, like they're like 1800s like graves and stuff, and like this place like it had some history to it because like you know I wanted to go there because like I didn't believe in it, but I had friends that believed in it, and like I wanted to freak them out, you know. I was
Right,
like,
yeah,
I was
of
like, I was like, oh, like I'm gonna mess with my friends or
You were
some
Johnny
shit.
Hot
Yeah.
shit.
Like I was gonna,
Right.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like I was
Cool
gonna
guy.
Yeah,
fuck
Johnny
with them.
Hardo. Johnny Hardo's gonna get him
Yeah,
real
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I was gonna straight up fuck with them. So like.
Scare these pussies.
So like the creepiest part of it was that like you know like there was like like satanic rituals that took place in that like in like the forest and stuff, and it
Yep.
was like
the field trip you went on.
yeah, the
Right,
field trip I went
yeah.
on was there, but like I had gone there before for my 13th birthday with friends, and
So you're summoning demons.
no, yeah, it used to be like a mob like dumping ground and everything. So we're
Right.
going there, you know, we're like having fun. Like the only weird thing that happens to me is I'm just taking some pictures and my phone goes from like 100% to like dead
Right.
in like 2 minutes of being there, and I'm like, okay, fuck it, whatever. So, but then like after I go there and I'm like taking it so unseriously and making jokes, after that, dude, fucking, like that's when like weird paranormal shit started happening in my life, and I used to get like I still do to this day get night terrors almost every single night.
So you've been fucking with the devil for a while now. You've been tempting that motherfucker. You've been telling, hey, what's up, pussy? You don't scare me. I'm going
Well,
to
it's one of
graveyard.
those things where, you know, maybe you don't believe in the thing, but that doesn't mean it's not real.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
It kind of goes
Well-
back to what he was saying earlier about how don't fuck with certain things that you shouldn't be, right?
Well, the thing is like
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like this is what like I've seen from like you know like Vatican like trained exorcists and everything.
Uh-huh.
So like stuff with playing with like
Ouija board.
yeah with like a Ouija board and stuff. It's like they always say like you might be playing around, but whatever you're contacting doesn't care.
Yeah, that creeps
Yeah.
you
It
out.
doesn't care that you
No,
don't believe in it.
no.
It doesn't care that you think it's a
No.
joke.
Dude, so what?
You open the door, and
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
believe, it's coming in.
It's fucking real. So one of my friends, and you know, if I ever get permission to tell this story, I don't have it now, but he has a wicked Ouija board story. And
Ooh, creepy. I don't like that. I never mess with the
you
Ouija
know
board,
how
ever.
like we carry ourselves with integrity. We don't bullshit around. You know, we're not those guys. And he's one of, you know, you have friends in your life like that are just like, when this fucking guy tells you something, you're like, holy shit, it's real. You know, this story he told me scared the fuck out of me, and I made like a family rule: no Ouija boards. No one's playing with a Ouija board. If you're ever around a Ouija board, get the fuck out of there. There is no, and they sell them at toy stores.
I mean, it's a fucking Hasbro product.
You could go to, you know, they used to have them at Toys R Us, so they're not a thing anymore, but you could go to Target, Walmart, any toys section in a major, you know, big section of a toy store, you find a Ouija board.
Well, the same people that make your ladders and snakes, make chutes and ladders, they make the Ouija board.
They
Hasbro.
make a thing that can conjure demons. What
If
are
I
we
can-
talking about?
Listen, a great man by the name of Kenny Powers once said,
Hell yeah.
and I'm gonna quote this right now.
Please quote Kenny Powers.
I got 2 hard rules I live by. I don't fuck with the devil, and I never do tag teams with blood relatives.
And if you haven't seen Eastbound and Down, check that
it
shit out. Check
Eastbound
out.
and Down is the shit. Unbelievable.
Classic
It
show.
just popped in
Classic
my head
show.
right now. I had to throw it out
Hey,
there. I'm sorry.
Really, bottom line, don't fuck with the devil.
I don't fuck
No,
with
You know?
the devil.
but like
That's
going back
that's
to
some
like what
comedy
you
right
said
there.
you heard before about like it being like
Sorry, that was me. Sorry.
You
about
okay
that.
over there?
That's my fault.
about it being like a demon trying to get to you. So that's part of like the degrees to it.
Mhm.
Where it's like first there's like different degrees to like demonic like possession and stuff.
Mm.
Mind you, I would never claim to have ever been like possessed or anything
Right,
or
right.
nothing along those lines. But like the number one is like infestation, where it's like you hear footsteps, you hear like voices, some like objects moving without like anything around,
Yeah.
animals reacting to things.
Uh,
And then number 2 is oppression, which is like sometimes it can get physical or it can get to like sleep disturbances, like regular nightmares, like severe illnesses, major depressive episodes, anxiety. So it's when it starts like trying to like lower your mental state.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel
The
like
oppressive
something
state.
like there's like a lot of like where you're at. Like I know like so not to be a downer, but I know like if I'm like super depressed or I'm not in a good mental state or whatever, I'll have dreams where like I can't fight. I get into a bad situation and I can't defend myself. And I always know that like when I'm having, and they're terrible dreams, like wake me up, like get up, like,
I believe they're called nightmares.
yeah, nightmares. Yeah, exactly.
They're called bad dreams.
I think so. You might be onto something. But I'll have them and I'll know, like, I'll be like, it's kind of like a reminder. It's like, shit, man, I got to do something about this. I'm not in a good place right now. Like, I'm having these weird dreams. So I think some of that too, like, you can, I don't know. I'm not trying to take away from, like, your guys' awesome body possessions and everything. But I also wonder, like, where you're at mentally inside of that, at that time or at that point or whatever. If you could go back and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I had something going on. I was dealing with something, whatever case may be. I don't know. I'm not trying to downplay your scary stories
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
but
No,
I feel like some of that.
But I also
and I
think
say it
that-
because you brought it up. You said depression, and
But
just
I
makes
also
me
think
wonder.
there could potentially be a force out there that would feed off of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
You know
like,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Yes,
like,
absolutely.
that's where they're getting their energy from. That's why like you always hear like people say, like when stuff like that happens, something I've taken to heart, a lot of it is like I've had like weird shit happen to me like a lot, like fucking doors slamming and shit like that. And it just became to a point where it's like it's just fucking annoying at this point. And you just kind of have to be like, oh, like
It's creepy.
creepy thing, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like it's not
whatever.
gonna
Shut it
I'm
up.
because
gonna
the
move
moment
on. Yeah.
the moment you give it any sense of feeling, it's like feeding off of
It
it.
gains power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, and again, so like the point of like the demon trying to possess you is trying to weaken you. So it wants you to be. So that's why like the second one is like it's like the third stage is obsession, where
Obsession.
the afflicted person has a hard time functioning, being constantly preoccupied with thoughts of demonic activity, like commanding her life, frequently with thoughts of suicide, as well as sleep becomes nearly impossible. So it gets like it starts getting worse and worse, and then the fourth one is finally like demonic possession.
Right. Straight up.
Jesus.
Straight up
Christ.
psychotic.
So
shit.
it's like there's like 4 degrees where it just starts getting worse and
Dude,
worse
I've had
and worse.
I've had
You guys are both creeping me out right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've had theories
I'm
before we
uncomfortable.
close it out. I've had theories about suicide, and we're having fun. I don't want to get too dark, but that there's some kind of force encouraging this behavior and action. Now,
Right.
there's a documentary called The Bridge, where the camera crew. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Is like a real documentary?
Yeah, real documentary. Do you know about that? The
No.
Bridge? They set up a camera on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh,
This sounds dark as fuck.
Suicide capital of the world.
Yeah.
Golden Gate Bridge.
I've heard about this.
And they were
before.
just filming people
Jumping
off that fucking thing.
Wow.
And you just see how people do it. Some people just boldly do it. Some people scaredly do it. This one dude stood up there, did a Jesus Christ backwards pose, and jumped backwards. That was the creepiest one.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it's also like copycat stuff, right?
Yeah, but hang on.
I don't think when
There's
you're at that
one,
stage.
but
you're
here's the
getting
thing. Here's the thing.
copycat.
Yeah, on that doc, there's one survivor, and I don't know if he's the only survivor ever, but he might be
I mean,
one of the
jumping
only.
from Golden, that's surviving. That is crazy.
He survived, and then they interviewed him, and he said when he woke up that morning, voices.
Yeah.
You gotta jump. You gotta jump. You gotta jump. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. All that like crazy voices that were not
Was
his
he
own.
schizophrenic before though? This guy maybe.
Not that
Though-
I know of.
And like, I'll jump
Did
in
he
and say
I
this.
wonder.
So I feel like a lot of those times it's medication, like overdosing. And I don't mean like purposeful or like negligent overdose. Like, I mean, like there was one time where they'd put me on like a medication and, you know, it was my first time taking it. So they didn't give me a starting dose and they gave me a heavier dose.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
there's
I-
all kinds of medication.
And I started getting auditory hallucinations, like the type fucking
Yeah,
That'll
people
happen.
go through where
Weird
they
as fuck.
That'll
Yes.
happen. Yeah.
So, but like a thing I'll say is like this from, I mean, contrary to what I guess maybe what was taught in the older days or just public, I mean, consensus of Catholics is
Yeah.
suicide doesn't damn you because it's almost like you're not choosing it of your free will. There's something impacting you.
Influencing.
Oh, I never knew
influencing
that.
you
That's
to go
interesting.
there.
I didn't know that
I
either.
never
Yeah.
knew that.
But the hard part where it comes in is the state that you are like almost like dying in because there's things of like dying in like mortal sin and that's like a whole thing. So
Right.
it's like in a way I feel like, you know, the goal of demons a lot of the time is to force you to a place where
You
you
do it
wanna
to
take
yourself.
your life.
Right.
So let me tell you, this guy says he's hearing the voices. He gets on the bus.
Right.
Voices. He literally was saying, like, if anybody on the bus, nobody had any idea he was going through this. If anybody would have just talked to him, maybe it would have stopped it or helped
Right.
or whatever it is, right? Nothing. He goes to the bridge. It's just constantly, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta do it. He gets on. It's just like so intense. He says, as soon as he jumps off, they go, went away. And he goes, what the fuck did I just do?
Wow.
He falls. Boom. It's like concrete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody dies.
From the height, right? Yeah.
Somehow he's laying there. Somebody saw him. They sent out the people. He's had like collapsed lungs, fucking
I was gonna say, what was the
broken
damage?
bone. No, he
Yeah.
was fucked up,
Yeah.
but his ass survived. And that's the story he told me. And I had already had those thoughts. Like, is
Did you
there
say
something?
collapsed butt?
Like lung?
Oh, lung.
I said lungs.
Butt.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought,
Is that what
I
triggered
heard
you?
you say collapsed the butt. I was like, whoa, that's a thing.
Collapsed butthole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Collapsed
he
butthole?
landed ass first into the
Is that
water.
a collapsed
That's what saved him.
butthole?
He landed ass first. We're laughing because he's alive.
He's alive. Right.
But that's some wild shit. So,
That is pretty crazy.
man,
Interesting.
got a little creepy there. Huh?
Yeah.
Got weird.
So now, unless anybody's got anything more,
We're gonna get extra weird.
let's do the ending.
Yep,
Right?
wrap it up.
Let's hear it.
All right. So here we go. I love this shit. All right. So
That's what it's all about, baby.
there's been talk about Taylor Swift.
Who's that?
I don't even know. The kids like her. I don't know. I've never heard of her. I think it's a fad.
The fact
So
that her
anyway,
fan base is called Swifties.
they're called
Yeah, we talked
Swifties.
about
One of the
that. We
weirdest
talked
things
about
to-
that.
Yeah, we talked about that with
Another cult.
the other. I forget what episode,
We were
but
on
yeah,
an
we were
episode, yeah.
talking shit about the Swifties. Don't tell them.
No, don't do that.
Hey, guess what happened
You
just now,
dropped
guys?
your pen. Finally.
I dropped my pen. Anyways,
Every time.
so there was this talk, and you know, we all live our lives, and I look at shit all the time, right? Everybody's doing their own
Yeah, of
thing,
course,
right? That's
yeah.
why we come together, and it's nice because everybody's got their own point of view. It's great.
Right.
But I always look into the weird shit as well, my own avenue, right? And I hear Taylor Swift's a witch and all this stuff, and I'm like, it's an eye roll. I'm like, okay, you know. Then I hear people were having these like mass amnesia at her concerts at this last Eras tour. It was called the Eras tour.
Come on.
Right. There's a story where people say they were going to the concert and a massive amount of people wake up the next day and be like, we don't remember shit. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Were they like on drugs though or something? Like
I don't know how. I don't think the Swifties roll that hardcore.
Too much glitter? Yeah, too much glitter? What's going
Too
on?
much
All right.
pop. I don't know.
Okay,
but
interesting.
enough people were saying it where it became a story. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but still, they do weird shit at concerts.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, we have to do a concert episode, right? We're going to talk about all the weird accidents and whatnot that's happening at concerts. And by the way, the Grateful Dead was pushing LSD per the CIA during the 60s and all that shit. So we know they use concerts to do, mind control shit and social experiments and all that shit.
Right, music can be hypnotic.
Right, and then with the
like a seance.
lights and whatever
Oh, we
shit
gotta
that they
get
do.
into that like dome in Las Vegas and everything.
Oh, we're going to get to all that. We'll do, you know what? We'll do a concert episode, right? And we'll talk about the whole grand scope of all that with the Travis Scott thing and the Pearl Jam thing. We'll do it all, right? So I know there's weird shit that happens at concerts. Doesn't mean Taylor Swift's a witch. In fact, they use these stars to just do whatever they do, and the stars don't know shit, right? But there's some stars that do know.
Yeah, some
where
know,
they're
some
at
don't.
a certain level. We know who they are. Anyways, then I hear that she is the daughter of Anton LaVey. And Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satan. And I go, oh, God, you guys are really going after Tay-Tay. Is that what they call her?
Tay-Tay? I like
Tay,
that.
I don't know
like
what
that.
they call her.
Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. I'm like, you guys are really stretching. And then I hear, no, she looks just like his daughter, Zena LaVey. And so I showed you guys the picture.
Yeah,
and
it
by
does
the
look
way,
just like her.
and by the way, anyone at home, just simply Google Zena LaVey, LaVey, Zeena, and Taylor Swift, and you're gonna see.
I mean, it's bizarre how much
When
they
I
look
saw
like.
that,
Yeah,
I was like, son of a bitch. You know what? Let me actually
Okay,
look into it now.
So who are her real parents then?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, how do they? I mean, like,
Okay, so she has real parents,
Right.
and there's that whole story or whatever.
right, whatever it is.
And
Right?
by-
No, I'm just curious.
Right, she's got her whole story. She got signed by this record company as a country music star, which I find
Right.
interesting, and totally pivoted and shifted
Yeah.
and became the fucking worldwide phenomenon
Yeah,
that she is
today.
now.
Yeah.
And people are nuts about her, right? To the point where
yeah.
it's a little scary.
It's psychotic.
It's a
how much
little
people love this
scary.
broad, yeah.
So I'm saying, like, when I see this picture of this lady, I'm like, yeah, all right, now let me look into this. Okay. So I did look into it, and I found some stuff that I think is worth mentioning. Now, I've talked about gematria before. Now I want to break it down. All I want to do is to break it down in the easiest way people can understand. Gematria. It's the coding of numbers. I'm sorry, I already fucked it up. Gematria is the coding of letters into numbers. And when you do that, you find hidden connections. Okay? It's code breaking. That's all it is, guys. It's an ancient system, and there's 4 main ciphers. It's really 2 ciphers, forwards and back, forward and reverse. Okay? So let me break this down as best I can very quickly. Alphabetical gematria, right? It's turning letters into numbers. So A through Z becomes 1 through 26, meaning A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, so on to Z equals 26. Let's take the word cab, right? It's the easiest word. C-A-B. C is 3, A is 1, B is 2. You just add those numbers together, it equals 6.
Okay.
That's all, right? Each letter is a number. You add it together, C-A-B equals 6. Now, there's reverse alphabetical. Now, Z is 1, Y is 2, X is 3, all the way to now A becomes 26. And if you do reverse alphabetical, cab would be 25. No, what is he? 24 plus 26 plus 25, and that would equal 75.
Okay.
Okay, so now you have one word that equals 2 different totals. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sort
then-
of.
Right. So then there's, so that's one cipher, forward and reverse. Then there's one other main cipher, forward and reverse, and that's with the rules of numerology. And all that means is it's just like alphabetical. A is still 1, B is 2, C is 3, but there's no double digits, meaning when you get to J, the 10th letter, you add it together. 1 plus 0 is 1. K, the 11th letter, 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay? So in that cipher, cab is still equals 6. But then when you go reverse, I don't know it offhand, but cab would equal 21. So it's 2 ciphers, forward and reverse, 4 different totals.
Got it.
Okay? So knowing that, There's another cipher I've been using lately because there's several ciphers, but those are the main 4. But there's another one called Satanic Gematria. And I've been finding some shit using this particular code. And before I get to that, let me just tell you another thing I like to talk about is 666 code. Okay, we see this everywhere, but you don't know it until you know it. Okay, so there's certain numbers that equal 666. And now when you see that number, it's basically telling you 666, which is connected to the mark of the beast.
And
Satanism.
you did a short on this.
I did a couple shorts on it. I'm cooling it off on that because busy. But when we do our gematria episode about Kobe Bryant, if people give a shit, I might go back to it. Right. I'm very busy right now. But so 666 code, here are the numbers. The number 18. Why? Because 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. The number 23. 2 divided by 3 equals 666. The number 36. Because not only do you see the 3 right in front of the 6, which is telling you 3 6s, right, but if you added 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 all the way to 36, it would equal 666. So 666 is actually the 36th triangular number. There's a mathematical connection. Okay. And then the last number that I know of is 216. Because 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Okay? And in this satanic gematria code, letter A equals 36, because that's the 666 code, and B would be 37, C 38, all the way to Z is 61. Okay? I use that code as well. So now, knowing gematria, if you type in Taylor Swift, it equals 51. Okay. If you type in the Eras Tour, where people were complaining of massive amnesia and all that,
right?
The Eras Tour also equals 51.
I'm with you.
We said that they say she's Anton LaVey's daughter.
Yeah.
Anton LaVey equals 51.
All right.
He was born on April 11th. Now, the interesting thing about dates is you could say them and write them a bunch of different ways. You could write April 11th, the 11th of April, 11th of April, or you could write 4/11. Those are all the different ways you could say a date, right? If you write out 4/11 equals 51. By the way, Anton LaVey's real name is Howard LaVey with an E, so Howard Levy. Howard Levy also equals 51. And the daughter who looks just like Taylor Swift, her name is Zena. Zena equals 51.
Oh, boy.
Okay? And she used that as a stage name because she became like a singer, performance artist kind of thing.
Right, alter ego type deal.
Right, so she went with the one name, Zena.
Wait, hold on. Taylor Swift?
No. The lady who she looks like, who's Anton LaVey's daughter.
Hold on a second. Yeah, okay.
Anton LaVey's daughter is Zena.
Got it.
And her name also equals 51. Her mom, who we're going to get into as well, who is high priestess in the Church of Satan and all that shit, right?
Okay.
A sorceress. Her name, she was born on the 10th of July. If you write 10th of July equals 51. Okay, that's her birthday. And we should know that conspiracy equals 51 and blood witch equals 51, right?
Creepy.
So to bring it back, and by the way, I must say, like, people are like, oh, if you write enough numbers, and then everything's going to equal everything. That's not true. And that's why I want to do these gematria episodes, because we're going to find that certain numbers, now there's overall numbers like this 666 code that you'll find everywhere, but there's certain numbers that are specific to the person. Kobe Bryant was 41 and Hayes was 63. We're going to get to all of that shit, okay? But just to break it down, and guess who guess who Taylor Swift is famously dating right now? Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
When you write out Travis Kelce in satanic gematria, it equals 510. Drop the 0, that's 51, boys and girls. So to break it down, and do you know Travis Kelce's goddamn birth date? The 5th of October. Drop the zeros, guys. It's 51. If you put the 5,
right,
510, right?
Yeah.
So we've got Taylor Swift 51, The Eras Tour 51, Ritual Magic equals 51, Anton LaVey 51, his real name Howard Levy 51, born on 4/11/51, Xena, his daughter Xena equals 51, her mom 10th of July birthday equals 51, Conspiracy 51, Blood Witch equals 51. Okay, that's not nothing.
Well, there's more to it too. Where in her concert tour, she was doing like imagery of witchcraft. And she's also friends with Willow Smith.
And that
Smith's
song,
daughter.
that song is Willow.
Yeah. And she's friends with Willow Smith, who Willow Smith has very publicly stated that she's a witch
My man.
into witchcraft.
Here we go.
Interesting. I never knew that.
They do this shit in plain sight, and it just gets swept under the rug. So now, this is good because we're going to get to that Willow stuff. So now, here's some other stuff I found interesting. Anton LaVey, again, the founder of the Church of Satan. He was on the Johnny Carson show. They treated him like some fucking, celebrity, right? Because they're pushing this shit. It was cool, edgy, right? And here he is. He wrote the Satanic Bible and all this other shit, right? Clown show, okay? You guys are fucking clowns. Anyways. Anton LaVey was born on April 11th, or you could say the 11th of April, which numerically would be like 11/4, right? Which would also be 114. You with me now?
Yeah.
11/4, 114, right? Taylor Swift's birthday. She was born on December 13th, 1989. If you add 12 plus 13 plus 89, that's 114. Her dad's middle name, which her parents got some weird numbers to them too, but her dad's middle name is Kingsley equals 114. Ritual Magic equals 114. Here's what's weird. From Anton LaVey's death date, which is October 29th, to Taylor Swift's birth date, December 13th, is a span of 1,104 hours. Drop the zero, it's 114. Okay, so you could take from the day to the day, or you could take from after his birthday to her day, right? From after Anton LaVey's death to her birthday is 1 month, 14 days.
So back to the 114.
Another 114.
Another 114.
Right? So I found that interesting considering that's his motherfucking birthday, okay? Now here's another number. 24. I see this number pop up all the time. I don't know how, why, for whatever reason it escaped me for all this time. Goddamn, if you write out Satanism, it equals 24. Okay? Satanism equals 24. Write out magic, it equals 24. His last name, LaVey, spelled with an A, equals 240. Drop the zero, is 24. His original last name, instead of an A, is an E. Levy, equals 24. He was born, right out, April 11th equals 204. Xena equals 24. Her mom was named Diane. Diane equals 24. Her mom also went by the alias Diana, officially, both ways. Diana equals 24. She was born July 10th, 1942. Add each number together. 7 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 2. That equals 24. And by the way, they were together, you can wiki this, for 24 years. Satanism equals 24, guys. They made the fucking Church of Satan. Okay? She dies on the 23rd of July. Write that out. 23rd of July equals 204. Drop the zero. 24. Or you could write it 723 equals 24. And from Xena's November 19th birthday to before Taylor Swift's December 13th birthday is a span of 24 days. So here we have these numbers that are conspiracy, blood witch, ritual magic, the 114, this dude's birthday. And somehow when you put these things together, Taylor Swift's number connects as well. I'm almost done. Let's talk about that 666 code. Swift equals 23, 666. Her initials, TAS. Her name is Taylor Allison Swift. TAS equals 23. She's a singer. Singer equals 36. She was born on December 13th. That is the day leaving 18 days left in the year, 666. Right out 13th of December, 203. Her dad, Scott Kingsley Swift, 230. Drop those zeros. It's 23, 666. She got her start, Taylor Swift, at Big Machine Records equals 306. Dropped to 0 is 36. Eras Tour equals 36. From Xena's birthday to Taylor's birthday is exactly 36,000 minutes, or 2,160,000 seconds. Drop all those zeros. We got 36 and 216. 666 code twice. From Anton LaVey's death to before her birthday, Taylor Swift, is 1,080 hours. That's 666. This is, I also found interesting. Singer equals 72. Witch equals 72. Xena's mom was High Priestess equals 72. She was born on July 23rd, 2022. Add that together. 7 plus 23 plus 20 plus 22 equals 72. When you write out July 23rd, it equals 72. Xena's mom was born, if you write out July 10th, it equals 36 and 108. She died, again, 7/23/22. Add each number individually, it equals 18. What I'm trying to say is this whole fucking thing is riddled with 666 everywhere. I'm not talking about your average Joe. I'm talking about the people who founded the Church of Satan. She's a high priestess. He's a sorcerer. So they say, look and all that shit, okay? And I want to end on this, unless you got something to say.
No.
Real quick. There's also an element of this that is Jesus mockery. What they like to do is code in his crucifixion date. Okay? That is on record as April 3rd, which is the 93rd day of the year. Not only is that, and you could also write that as the 3rd of April, right? So April 3rd could be 4/3 or 3/4. Right?
Yeah.
He was crucified on that's the 93rd day of the year, and he was said to be crucified from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay? The numbers, dude. It's fucking all over. So, with this Jesus mockery in mind, Taylor Swift's birthday, December 13th, 1989. Add each number individually. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 is 34. Write out December 13th equals 304. Write out 13th of December equals 903. Eras equals 43. She went on that tour at 33 years old. She's 33 right now. Magic equals 33.
She's 33.
She's
I
33.
thought she was younger.
Magic equals 33. That song Willow with the fucking witchcraft and shit, Willow equals 304. It's Jesus mockery, the 3rd of April. Anton equals 26. God equals 26. His original name was Howard. Howard equals 33 and 93. He made up his own middle name, Zandor. That's not his real middle name, but Zandor, Szandor, equals 34. He was born right out the 11th of April equals 93. He died the 29th of October equals 93. His fucking birthday and his death date both equal 93. Xena, his daughter's middle name, equals Galatea equals 43. And she was born on November 19th, 1963. Add 11 plus 19 plus 63. I can't fucking talk. 11 plus 19 plus 63 is 93. Her mom, the high priestess, Diane equals 33. Her last name, Hegarty equals 33. She also went by Diana equals 34. And she also went by Hall as her last name equals 33. And from her Xena's birthday to Taylor Swift's birthday is 3 weeks and 4 days. And here's the last thing I'll fucking say, right? Because Travis Kelce just turned 34, and she's 33. Man, that fits, right? But he was born in 1989 as well. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were both born in 1989. So let's add 19 plus 89 plus 19 plus 89, their birth dates, equals 216. So we can all, I know I was going fast, and everybody,
What's 216?
when you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it equals 216.
Okay.
So it's one of the 666 code
Got
numbers.
it. Okay. All right.
They multi-layer this shit, and it's all over the place. The number 23. So just think of how they have payments. You know, oh, you can make this payment in 18 months or 36 months or whatever.
Right.
When you know this code, you see it fucking everywhere, okay? So when I had seen all the stuff about Taylor Swift, it seemed silly at first. And then when I saw how similar she looked to that woman and how I'm looking at how the 666 code, the Jesus mockery, it's all fucking there. So you can draw your own conclusions, but I wouldn't invite her to Thanksgiving dinner.
That's the big takeaway. Don't invite her.
I don't want anything to do with her.
At the end of the day, no Thanksgiving for you, Taylor.
No, we will not be friends.
That's hysterical.
So, unless anybody's got anything else, you guys good?
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Hopefully we had a lighter episode. I know it got a little dark there too, but it always does here at SOC. And thanks again. Be safe out there, and we will see you next time.
Adios.
Adios.